Hello, people. I'm looking forward to doing a show today. It's Monday. I took the whole weekend off. Kind of sucks because there's no sports. Baseball is going on strike. I swear to God, if baseball goes on strike, I'm done with baseball. Can you imagine these guys making the money they're making and they want to go on strike? The average minor leaguer gets paid $100,000 now just to be in the minor leagues. And they're talking about going on strike. The average major leaguer makes about $10 million a year, and they're going on strike. Something's wrong here. I'm going to wait for more people to get in here. Let me say hi to some of the people that are in here already. American Me DeBella, how you doing? Welcome. Mopsers Inc., thanks for being here. Westies, Harvest of Sarrow, Wayne Kligman, Scrody McBoogerballs. Dude, that's one of the best names. I mean, you really did good in that name. Jack Bocozzi, Redzilla. How you doing, Red? I appreciate you being here. Let's see. The Turd Bird is in the house. Perpetual Motion. How you doing, my man? James Weldon, welcome. Gimmick Nonstop. Doo-doo Browns in town. Thank you for being here. Michael, Putin to address nation. Whoop-de doodah. Wayne, the Turd Bird. Achilles. Jason T, how you doing, Jason? Butchie Bifocals, how you doing, Butchie? Okay, let's see who else is here. Slick Rick, Bill Jordan, Donnie Ragu, David S. Cameron. How you guys doing? I'm going to talk about a few things, and I'll talk about the minor shit before I get into the major stuff. You know, I took the weekend off because I don't know what's up with these other shows. I'm an old man. I consider myself kind of old. I'm 61 years old. And you always hear people bullshitting. Like, they love this. This weekend, I swear to God, every damn show over and over and over was mentioning me. From the last Angel Gotti show, continuously. And she says, don't mention me, I don't mention you. I haven't even mentioned the woman. When was the last time you guys heard me mention this woman? But yet, that's all she does is mention me. Then the guy with the eyebrows. I don't even want to give that clown the time of day because he doesn't deserve it. But the things they say about other human beings, they don't know nothing. The way these people call people names. And as for Ball Sicilian, he's Ball Sicilian. He ain't got no he's got nothing. So he has to attack people. So that's what they do. You know, people are always saying to me, Lee, get away from the drama. Get away from the drama. You know, attempting to get away from the drama and being able to do it is two different things, especially when you have new guys here that are looking for attention. So they figured they go after certain names. And this is what they do, people. It's nonstop. And the people that you think you could trust, you can't trust. They're ruthless. You know, the people I trust are the people that come in my rooms and they've been part of this show for a long time. And I appreciate you people. But the way people act here is absolutely sickening. The stuff they say about other people, it's so easy to be a tough guy in these rooms and talking stuff about people. You know, I had one issue with one guy and I talked to him. So he took down some videos. I told him, I said, look, I'll stop talking about you. You stop talking about me. I never mentioned his name. He told me he'll never mention my game. I believe him because he has some honor. These other guys have no honor, people. And, you know, if you're going to attack somebody, if you want to attack me, attack me. But why do you have to bring up my family? What is it? Am I bringing up your family? And I'm not talking about it if you bring your wife on your show. and then she talks crap about people, then she opens up the door to be talked about. But why? Why, people, would you talk about other people's families and dig into their past? Are you that demented and that twisted and that sick? That's what you got to do. We're here to talk about the mafia genre. Like today, I'm going to be talking about John Alite. And people say, oh, Lee's up. Like people think that I'm all about John Alite. No, I'm not all about John Alite. Not even close. Being friends with Gene Barillo doesn't make me friends with John Alite. Not even close. And when I show you, when I do the show today, you'll understand. But you know, it just Anthony. I'm going to say hi to a couple more people that just came in. Anthony, Luciano Ramondi, how you doing, my man? Aussie Nate from overseas, how you doing? Matt Collier from overseas, how you doing? BK, welcome in the house, BK. Let's see. What I like about BK can handle himself. You know, he has this this clown from Chicago has basically what he's doing is he has no show. He has a few people watching his show. And so what he's trying to do is act like a tough guy and go after everybody. So I got an idea, people. Build up your show. Go after guys like John Alite. Go after guys like Sammy Gavano. Why are we going after each other? You know, and when I was listening to Angel's show the other day, I was shocked. I mean, over and over again, Lee Cole, Lee Cole. It's like, shut the fuck up already, Lee Cole. Just do your own show. I'm not even mentioning you. And then people say, oh, don't talk that way about Angel. She's a woman. Angel's tougher than any of these guys on here. Okay, it's not like she's some timid little woman in the corner. And once again, I'll say it. Angel, I'm not going to mention your name. Don't mention my name on your show. I don't mention your name here. Really simple. It's that I don't care if FBS says my name. He has nothing else. That's all he has. I don't care if, you know, I don't care if Johnny Dick or Mac, whatever the fuck his name is. Why people watch that show in the first place is beyond me. Why? I mean, because they attack people. That's all they got on their show. It's like Tony. That's all they got is attacking people. They don't have no shows, people. Their shows are based on attacking other human beings continuously. So I can understand standing up for yourself, getting into a fight with another one, but that's all they do. Every day their shows come on and that's what they do. They attack other people. And for you guys that watch those shows, shame on you. Is that what you are? Are you guys like little bitches and you need to be in someone's chat room and talk about people? Like I would tell you guys, if you guys hear that, say FBS is getting someone to interview, you guys have no right to go after the person he's trying to interview. And people might say, whoa, why would you say that? Because he worked to get the interview. You know, go on the show during the interview. Say something during the interview when the interview's over. But don't go into chat rooms of these people and try to get them to stop them from coming on people's shows. That's wrong. It's totally wrong. That means you put yourself at the low level of the people that do this. Lowlives do that. If it bothers you so much, get your own show and you'll understand what it means to have people, to work on getting people on your shows, than having people talking a bunch of shit behind your back, trying to stop your interviews. So if people are going to do it to him, they'll do it to me. They'll do it to Tom LaVecchia. They'll just do it. And this has become a regular thing now. It's like we all get involved with certain we all get involved with certain people, and we're on that side. So we can do horrible things to these other people. And I'll make a deal with all these other content makers. Stop saying my fucking name. I'll stop saying yours. You know, you got people walking around saying, well, if someone doesn't, FBS, this is perfect for you, what I'm going to say right now. You are always saying that if people don't talk about me, I won't talk about them. I don't think you could do it, dude. I don't think you'll have a show. I think that's all you could do. Prove it. I won't say nothing about you, and you don't say nothing about me, but you can't do it. Because that's what you're all about. You know, Johnny Mac and shit, he's fucking semi-retarded. I'm not worried about Johnny Mac. He's just an idiot. He can't help to do it. We all see what he's about. He goes back and forth. When, you know, the guy's all over the board. You know. And that's what it comes down. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I said what I had to say. I don't really give a shit what people think. I'm not going to even mention these fuckers anymore. But this is the one time I'm going to get it out right now. Do not talk about me. I don't talk about you. I'd rather come on here and do a real show. And I mean that. Doing a real show makes you feel good. I don't feel good about myself when I'm attacking people and saying horrible things. And very rarely will you ever see me go after someone's family. You'll see this scumbag Johnny Mac going after people's families, talking about their children and stuff. You'll never see me go after his family. I've never. I wouldn't lower myself to those standards. Same with Tony. He's the bottom of the barrel, trash. And he'll talk about anybody's family. What did he say? My brother was raped and killed himself? That's how low he will go. Have you guys ever heard me say anything about Tony's family? And then we have content makers that have big shows and they got wrenches in people's shows. I don't have a wrench in anybody's show. If you're a content maker, what the fuck are you doing with a wrench in someone's show? And I'm not talking about little shows. I'm not talking about NB. I'm not talking about other little shows. And I'm talking about shows that are bigger. Shows that continuously go in all these chat rooms. And they got wrenches and show. It makes no sense. Like Jimmy Calandra, if he had a wrench. I don't see no wrenches anywhere. But I'm just saying, someone like, can you imagine Sammy Gravano with a wrench? Or Michael Francis with a wrench in somebody's room? They wouldn't do it. They respect themselves too much to be like that. If you have a big show, or if you're trying to get your show big, you shouldn't have a wrench in someone else's show. You just shouldn't. And especially Johnny Mac's. I don't even consider that a show. That's just some guy who's been picked on his whole life, and now he's in a platform and he can attack people. That's what his show is all about. And now he's a big bad tough guy because he has a little mic in front of his face. He's the type of guy that would never say it to nobody's face. And most of these guys, you'll discover that they're recovering drug addicts. And if you're a drug addict and you're recovering and you're attacking people viciously, that means you're not working your program. That's all that means. You're doing everything that a drug addict's not supposed to be doing. People may not want to hear that, but that's the truth. Okay, with that, I'm going to get off that subject now. I said what I wanted to say. They're going to attack me tonight. Angel can go on her show and talk all the shit she wants and say, well, I don't attack nobody. But you're lying, Angel. You did it. The other day you did your show, and continuously, I must have heard my name on your show 20 times. By you. By you. I would expect you not to do it. It's like FBS, I know he's going to do it. He has no content. He has to do it. But why are you doing it? Okay. Aussie Nate, don't watch them. I don't. I only watch Kane Shades, Armchair, NBA, Vinny, Jeff Nadeau. One thing about Jeff Nadeau is very smart when it comes to this. Jeff Nadeau, he says to me, Lee, don't let it bother you. And Jeff Nadeau gets attacked viciously. I mean, the shit they say about Jeff Nadeau is unbelievable. But Jeff's a different type of guy than I am. I wish that I could do it the way Jeff Nadeau does it. Jeff Nadeau, because Jeff Nadeau gets abused just as much as me, probably more. he has little hands. He wears a hairpiece. I mean, everything you can imagine. Okay. I don't think he wears a hairpiece, and I do think he has little hands. But that's besides the point, right, Jeff? But anyway, that's a joke, Jeff. Cane Shade. Cane Shade doesn't talk about people. He just talks about rats. You don't hear him doing that. And as for the other shows, I'm not going to talk about them right now because when I see you having a wrench in these little shows, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just not a good idea. It doesn't look good for you to have a wrench in a guy like this guy with the caterpillar eyebrows, because he has no content. He's just a nasty, old, hateful little son of a bitch. Fridgel, they can talk. They can talk, but they can't walk the walk. You know what? You said it right. Perpetual motion. Could you imagine these guys? These are the guys that say, "Oh, they make fun of people snitching and stuff." And these would be the first guys to snitch once they were sat down and the cops surrounded them. Can you imagine, like, you're sitting there and you're being a big tough guy on these channels, and all of a sudden the feds walk through the front door into where you are, and the feds say, "Well, you're looking at 50 years." These guys would start crying, falling off their chairs, and giving everybody up. That's what makes me laugh about these guys that say, "Well, we fight back, no rats." 95% of them would rat in a minute, in 1 minute, once they knew what kind of sentence they were looking at. They're lower than shark shit. Hey, Westies, that's pretty low, shark shit. Matt Collier, how you doing, my man? Lee, when people jump in these chats and start with all the tough talk, it just looks pathetic, bro. You're right. Absolutely. Especially when they start going after people's families. I have people talking about me and my son fighting. Literally. And that happened 6 months ago. People are still using that. Your son said this about you. Your son said that. But I would never think about saying that about my son, about anybody else's son. You have never heard me bring up anybody's son in here or anybody's children in here. And can you imagine what these people who are drug addicts did to their children in their life? How they chose drugs over their children, how they chose drugs over every part of their life. Can you imagine the shit that you could say on these people? But, you have a little more class. You don't say nothing about them. But you are clearly aware of some people's deficiencies, so just be one who leads and leaves us behind respectfully. David, the whole weekend you had these shows that used to hate each other. Now they're all buddies. And they're not buddies. What it is they're pussies. They need to gang up together because they can't take on shit by themselves. So they're all fake friends right now. But it will all change. Tony don't stay friends with nobody. Tony got his channel taken down, and he'll have his new channel taken down too. He says he took it down. YouTube's all over Tony. Salute. Okay. Joey Electric saying, bro, Lefty's live got crazy yesterday. Lefty's live got crazy yesterday. I didn't even know. If you're talking about Lefty Guns, I seen him do a show a week ago, and I don't know the guy. He did say some shit negative about me, but a week ago he said, nah, don't say nothing. He was trying to keep his room okay. So people were probably just going in there starting shit. And a lot of these guys with new shows, here's the mistake you make. The guys with the new shows, they hitch their wagon to somebody. Like, you have these little shows that hitch their wagon to FBS. They're never going to grow. Why? Because so many people dislike FBS. So basically what you're saying is, I'm going to be FBS, and this goes for me too, just reverse it. So I'm going to be FBS's friend. So all these people that hate FBS will not go to those channels. So if you have a new show, don't attach yourself to me. Don't do it. It makes no sense. And I'm not talking about the trolls. The trolls, they're good people. They don't fuck with me too much. But, you know, they used to fuck with me all the time. Yeah, I want to talk about John Alite. I got something really good. You know, John Alite, I try not to talk about him too much. In the beginning, when I first started there, I used to talk about him a lot. And then I interviewed him. I tried to stay away from him. But he just recently said a couple things that are so fucking ridiculous. And the fact that he said them is really kind of pathetic. I mean, John Alite was in the streets. John Alite was a tough guy back in the day. John Alite definitely killed people. There's no doubt about that. But why he's saying some of these ridiculous things, and one of them is brand new. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about, the brand new thing that he just put up like a week ago. Not the last show he did, the show before that. So I was watching this and what he said, and then I went back and checked his other shows. He never made this claim on any other show. When he went on Value Entertainment, David Bay asked him some really good questions about, did you do this, this, and this? Never once did he bring this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up right now, and then I'm going to talk to you about this. I want you to hear this. One second, please. Okay. So I'm going to play this for about a minute, 2 minutes, fair use. And here we go.
Over dispute with a guy that he was shaking down, and the guy ended up again. That was I guess in about the mid '80s. At that time, John Alite wanted it revenged. He asked me and another guy, Bobby Borriello, to go lay on the guy and make it look like a robbery. The guy lived on the west side, and he used to carry full of paper bag. He wanted to make it look like a robbery. The guy that they killed the stepdad. It never happened. We laid on him a couple.
Okay, guys. I wanted you to hear that. Let me get this down. Now, you guys know Bobby Borriello was a really serious guy. John Gotti was a serious guy. John Alite's never mentioned this story before. So now he's saying that when he was in his early 20s, and this is before, he's saying even before he really became good friends with John Jr., John Gotti Sr. came to him and told him to go on a hit and kill somebody with Bobby Borriello. People. John Gotti had probably one of the best hit crews ever. I mean, he had killers, you know, whether it was a Rosario, whether, you know, just think about the killers that John Gotti had around him. So he's saying that John Gotti came to him and said, I want you to go with Bobby Borriello and kill this guy. Think about it, people. So John Gotti is going to go tell a guy as experienced as Bobby Borriello to go with John Alite to kill somebody. He's never mentioned the story before. If you go to David Bay Value Entertainment, he was on Value Entertainment and he was talking about the things that he did, supposedly that John Gotti told him to do. Never did he mention his story. You can't find this story anywhere. And now we're supposed to believe that John Gotti would be dumb enough to send some young kid on a hit with Bobby Borriello. Think about it, people. How stupid does that sound? And why would he bring it up now and never before? Out of the blue, he's just bringing something up. So Bobby Borriello, the big bad hitman, a badass, is sitting in a car with John Alite waiting for someone to kill. You know, and it's not the fact that he's saying this, it's the fact that he's never talked about this before. So what I did is I went back on Value Entertainment. I said, okay, let me see what else I can see John Alite say that doesn't make sense. So what he said is he also said that they wanted him to help kill Curtis Sliwa. And as we know, John Jr. supposedly, even though he was found innocent, sent someone to kill Curtis Sliwa in a cab. And I did a show on that. Not one time did I ever read about John Alite ever being involved in that hit. So I said, okay, let me go deeper into this. So Curtis Sliwa started talking stuff about John Gotti at the end of 1991. He got shot in 1992. The problem is that John Alite was no longer part of the family. He was no longer John Jr.'s friend. John Jr. chased him out in 1991. So he's saying that they were talking about him doing a hit in 1992 on Curtis Sliwa. Right? How? You weren't even with the family. John Jr. just chased you away. So once again, more bullshit. You try to give the guy a break, but then he says something that just makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. It didn't happen. You're lying. You were not with Bobby Borriello to do no hit on nobody. They didn't even know who you were. What do you think? John Gotti said, oh, send the kid in here. Oh, he's a great hit man. I'm going to send him out with Bobby Borriello. Come on. Does anybody believe that? If you believe that, I don't know what to say about you if you believe that. And if anybody believes that he was going to hit Curtis Sliwa, even though he was no longer part of that, he wasn't with the Gambinos no more in 92. He was going to 91. So this is the problem. People don't pull these guys up on this shit. And here's the thing with John Alite. You can go back and you can go look at his old interviews. So on his old interview on Value Entertainment, he was saying what a great guy Sammy Gravano was, how Sammy Gravano was the man, and now he hates Sammy Gravano. He's attacking Sammy Gravano all the time, and he says that he gave Sammy Gravano $3,000 just to mention basically to mention his name. That's what Sammy Gravano's saying. So he went from I love Sammy Gravano to Sammy Gravano's fake. He never killed nobody. But if you go to the Value Entertainment, he says that he'll say that Sammy Gravano was a killer. And now he says Sammy Gravano only killed one guy. It doesn't take much to take John Alite's stories and prove them wrong. That's why there's a whole website about it. Because his stories are easy to prove wrong. The one thing we know about John Alite is he was in the streets. He was a drug dealer. He did kill somebody. There's no doubt about that stuff. He was a tough guy. But whenever he talks about the Gottis, and look, you guys know I'm not getting along with the Gottis. I'm not here defending the Gottis. But what he's saying about being part of John Gotti, if he wants to say Junior, fine. Okay, say Junior all you want. But please, shut the fuck up about John Gotti Sr. John Gotti Sr. wouldn't even give you the time of day. John Gotti Sr. wouldn't even ask you to go to the store for him and pick up a pack of cigarettes if he smoked. I'm not sure. But he wouldn't even recognize you. He wouldn't talk to you. Those guys, those head of families, they don't talk to the little shits. They have a certain amount of friends around them. Those are the people they talk to. They don't talk. Just listening to it aggravates the shit out of you because you know the guy's full of shit. Okay. I just had to get that off my chest. So if people want to defend him, go right ahead and defend him. So let's go on here. Joey Electric, that guy in Chicago. Oh, he is. The guy's a creep, man. He's just a creep. He thinks by going after people and calling people names that he's intelligent. He's not. He's just a creep. You guys ain't happy till the X-Rat comes up with one of your heads. Rob Leto. Okay, Rob. Which X-Rat's going to come up with someone's head? Let us know more, Rob. I'm good, Lee. Thanks, buddy. Just hopeful Joe Electric doesn't put me in time. Yeah, Joey Electric. Don't be putting people in timeouts. I got a little complaint on you, Joey, that you were doing some timeouting. Only do that if they really get out of control, Joey. Jay Reed, we need to start questioning a PP size of FBS Simps and others who attack Lee Cole. And it's not going to stop people. They're going to do more of it tonight. Can you imagine that these guys want to attack? They'll make fun of my age, call me a fat old man and all that stuff. But yet they continuously attack me. Just think about that. What does that tell you? That I really get underneath their skin, and it's not hard to do. These guys are what they are. These are guys that I would have never talked to in my life, ever. I never talked to drug addicts in the street. Who talks to druggies in the street? Only druggies. That's the only person that talks to people like that. Angel isn't about the drama. She just wants to protect her family. You got to respect. No, Still Pigeon. Mentioning my name 10 times in a show isn't protecting her family. Okay, you could say what you want, Stool Pigeons, but that's just not right. FBI he has a cult without it. He has such a weird following. I mean, the people that follow him are some peculiar cats. I mean, but they do follow him, so he does have his following. You got to give him that credit. He does have his following, and then he'll make fun of the people that follow me. That's what we do. But I'll take the people that follow this show, I'll take over his anytime. Chicago Muscle's complete Gronk, thinks he can smash anyone. When you call yourself Chicago Muscle, and you got to put the name Muscle in your name to tell everybody that you got muscles, that tells you everything you need to know about that person. I keep getting texts. Let me see. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. David Cameron. Surely she has the right and certain expectations of her own channel without being subject to abuse and insult. Otherwise, simply don't tune in. David, once again, I have the right to tune into any channel I want. I actually find Angel Gotti's channel a pretty good channel. It's entertaining. She had Vinny Pazienza on. Very entertaining. That's why it bothers me when I go to her channel and she keeps mentioning my name. There's no reason to. I'm not attacking her. A matter of fact, I just told you that she has a pretty good, I like watching her show. And this is YouTube. I have the right to go to anybody's channel I want. Nobody can stop me from watching their show. And just like, you don't think that people that hate my guts are watching this show right now? Then they'll go on their show and say, I don't watch it, but then they'll talk about it. That's what we do. We watch each other's show. Okay, let's see. The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest man. Absolutely. The guy in the room that screams the loudest and talks horrible shit. And who are those two people in general? Tony and the guy with the eyebrows. They scream out loud, talking horrible shit about people. But we know what they really are. I reached out to Tony a couple days ago through another person. And you know what I said to that person? I said, tell Tony. I'm sorry. I said the person. I said, tell Tony not to mention my name. I won't mention his. So you know what Tony did that night? He went on to the Caterpillar Eyebrow Guy's show and started saying, Lee's trying to make peace with me. Lee's not trying to make peace with you. I said, just don't say nothing about me. I don't say nothing about you. And you couldn't even stop yourself. And then you know what he said? He said that the reason that I didn't accept this is because Lee didn't want to make peace with the eyebrows. No, he's nothing. I wouldn't give that guy the time of day. I would never say, let's make peace. Why would I say that to that guy? He's like the bottom of the barrel. He's scum below the scum. I would never even mention that guy, to talk to that guy to try to make peace. That would be like going to Chicago Muscle, another guy. They're basically what they are. They're online bullies. That's what they are. They're online. They've been picked on their whole life. So now they're online and they're bullies. Do you think that Chicago Muscle would ever walk up to BK Shallon in real life and say anything to his face? No, never. He would never say anything to his face. I'm going to try to catch up here so I don't fall too far behind people and get yelled at by my daughter. So what did you guys think of the show the other day with Alite saying that my daughter, NB, supposed daughter, is MRE. And then MRE was on that show. I was on that show, and there was a bunch of other people, like 6 of us, and we've all dealt with MB, and we told him that he's wrong. It's a woman, and he didn't want to believe us. He just kept saying, "No, it's not. It's MRE." I'm like, "Oh my God!" And MRE's known this woman forever. For years they've known each other, and he didn't want to hear it. I mean, he really hurt himself on that show by even claiming that. It was ridiculous. Respect your opinions and even empathy, but shouting at people that are not here is pointless. Surely, at Matt Collar, with respect. Okay. But they do that on all shows, dude. David, I see you in other rooms, and I don't see you saying that in other rooms, but you're saying that here. Why is that? Does it only bother you in this room, maybe? Does it bother you in these other rooms? Joey Electric, a real man always sticks up for his woman no matter what. If not, she will leave you eventually. Women never leave me. Ask any of my ex-wives. Hey guys, you know what it's like when women leave you? You just come home one day, you don't expect it. The house is empty. The dogs are gone. When they take the dogs, that's what really, really sucks. I just was recently in a breakup, and we have 3 dogs and a cat. Luckily, we get along great, me and her. We're still friends. I got 2 dogs, and she has a dog and a cat. And we talk every day just about, or every other day. She's moved on, I moved on. But that's just the way it is. MTR would say, well, I don't want to get into him. I made a commitment to him. Dude, what's up with you guys with the MTR? Lefty has been taking flack from Chicago Muscle over being nice to you. I didn't know that. Lefty came into our chat room and was respectful. So if Lefty comes in here and is respectful, we're going to treat him respectfully, right, guys? Chicago, and who gives a shit what Chicago Muscle thinks? What can Chicago Muscle do a show without attacking people? Ask yourself that question. Can he do a show that's interesting without going after people? And then when he does a show, what does he say? Oh, you got my attention now. Now I'm coming for you. Oh, we're so scared, Chicago Muscle. You're scaring us. A guy with like 60 subs is telling us how great he is. Now, if it's John Wolf with 60 subs, that's a little more serious. You know why? Because John Wolf is actually clever. I'll watch some John Wolf shit. I'll laugh for a half hour. And some of it's on me. I don't know if you guys just seen the new one he did on me. It was fucking hilarious. And it was like not nice to me, but it was funny shit. See, that's the difference between Chicago Muscle and John Wolf. John Wolf actually has some talent. You know, if you're attacking people and saying horrible shit, that's not talented people. Anybody could do that. Imagine how much time you would have if you totally ignored all the BS and everyone that wants to discuss it. Rodney, see, let me tell you something, Rodney. It's easy to say that crap, but it's hard to do it. Did you ever have someone say to you, Rodney, that your brother committed suicide because he was raped? Have you ever had anybody say that to you? Probably not. I like Lefty guys saying, yeah, you got to give Lefty credit. You know what's funny, though? Lefty was always part of that crew over there with FBS. But as soon as he got his own show, his attitude started changing. See, if anything, Lefty's smart. You shouldn't side with anybody if you got a show. That's not a good thing to do. Then the first thing people want to say, well, MB sides with me. MB used to come after me really bad. And the reason that she started defending me was because the trolls were doing a lot of shit. And FBS was blaming it on me. And they knew that he was full of shit, that it wasn't me. That's when they flipped on him. Because they knew that he was lying. And he knew he was lying. That's good to hear about Lefty. I had a feeling he would tire of the FBS and the backhanded comments. FBS. Yeah, everybody here, show your support for Lefty. Go over, if you haven't subbed for Lefty's channel, go over and sub for his channel. Not because he's defending people, but because he's trying to stay away from the BS. So, you know, we should go over there and sub to his channel. If he switches it around and starts going in another direction, it's easy to unsub. I have people unsub from me every day. Alite wasn't a tough guy. Tough guys don't need baseball bats. But you know what? I knew some tough guys that carried baseball bats, James. I don't know. Sometimes guys are just vicious. And I'm not sticking up for John Alite, but Alar, he couldn't tell the truth to save his life. It's obvious he's been doing a lot of lying lately. What's Alite's biggest lie? Waiting by the phone to hear about the big Paul takes some. Yes. Matter of fact, and I asked him that. When I interviewed him, I asked him that. I said to him, what about you saying that you were near the phone waiting for the news that Paul Castellano was killed? Once again, it's 1985. Alite's 23 years old. And we're supposed to believe that John Gotti said, make sure Alite knows about the hit to Paul Castellano. The only people that knew about the hit to Paul Castellano were the people involved. They didn't put outsiders like John Alite and tell them about the hit. And if anybody believed that, some of the shit people believe, though, is incredible. So, like Tony. Anybody that believes anything Tony says, the shit, we're still waiting for his story. It's been 6 months. We still haven't heard a story. You know why we haven't heard a story? Because there's no story. None. Everybody has a story. What the hell is your story? Anyway, Zappalu Zero, if he were in Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, or Hamilton, he'd have disappeared. No, listen, John, the only people they make disappear lately in Ottawa are truck drivers. That's the only people that they're getting rid of in Canada right now. Or they're running people down, innocent women with horses. That's what they're doing in Ottawa right now. It's like the feds gave Alite carte blanche to be a template for the rat. Yes. John Alite's the one that started all this. John Alite, well, it was Francis and it was Alite. They started, Alite started the Gene and Alite show and the John and Gene show, and Francis started his show. Those were the first two big shows that really started, where they both grew real good. And then Sammy Gravano came along. But the difference is with Sammy Gravano, we know that Sammy Gravano was a real gangster. Nobody can deny who Sammy Gravano was. We've seen Sammy Gravano on TV all the time. And that's before he turned evidence. Don't forget the button guys. Let's help Lee out here. Okay. Well, you guys help me out just by showing up here. I got I come on 12 o'clock. I got 142 to 150 people here. Not many people can do that during the day. There's a few of us that can do that. I can do that. FBS can do that. Not maybe Mob Rats. It depends what he talks about. If he talks about John Alite or somebody, he'll get a lot. If he talks about history and stuff like that, that's only a certain amount of people that like that. I like it. I'll tune into that. So a lot of people won't. Killed 3 guys outside his property. Did you guys see that? All these guys showed up on his property. He did it, locked up abroad. It was in that show where they attacked the house and he killed them and left them laying outside, but there was never no police reports of any shooting happening, no men being found dead. The first thing, if you're in New York City and all of a sudden from a middle-class neighborhood, you heard lots of shots, how long is it going to be before cops are there? 5 minutes? Now, we're talking a middle-class area. We're not talking a bad area. So the cops would have been there in 5 minutes if they heard this gunfight going on. Come on. Anybody that believes that, same thing. You know, people say stuff about Jimmy Calandra with the Kung Fu stuff. But you got to remember, Jimmy Calandra is in his mid-50s. The fact that he could do that, he deserves a little credit, doesn't he, guys? Let's be honest. You know, a lot of guys that are making fun of him. You notice that I don't make fun of his karate because I would look a whole fucking lot worse than him. You know, so I'm not gonna make fun of him for at least going out there and doing it. As for being a black belt, no way. I'm around a family of martial artists. He's not a black belt. Chad Marks, our Rupers have good stories. Lee should have them on. Okay, that's another thing I'm going to talk about. I just did an interview, and I'm going to be dropping it shortly. The person that I interviewed, we had a deal that once I edit it, they want to look at it, and that's the only way I can get them on. So I gave them my word. So it's being edited. They'll look at it, and if they like it, you know, it wasn't an attack one, so you know, I didn't attack them on it. It's more of a fun type of interview. But the guy's got a bigger name, so you got to be careful. Well, he has to be careful. But that's going to be edited and dropped as a regular. I'm going to do that as a premiere. So that's something you can look forward to. And then I have a couple other interviews lined up. One of them is going to be with somebody that's really going to surprise you. But it's going to be really, I'm really looking forward to that. And that one's going to be in a studio. It's not going to be here. You know, it's going to be in a studio with this person I'm doing it with. And that's our job. We go out looking for interviews. That's why I tell people, don't go, if you guys hear that FBS is going out looking for interviews, don't go after those people that he's trying to get. Because you know why? You do it to him, he's going to do it to me. That's how they think. You know, and you know, I've been telling you guys for a month now not to do that. You know, when these guys do interviews, it's their job. Okay, say you land somebody from The Sopranos, let's say. It's that person's job from The Sopranos or their agents. It's their job to look at our libraries. It's their jobs to find out why they shouldn't go on. Or I'll give you an example. Say Josie's upset because there was all these bad remarks made about her. At that point, it's up to Josie to contact those people. That's between Josie and FBS. It's not between us and FBS. That's just the way I feel about it. You guys may not agree with me, but if we just try to slice each other's throats, it's not going to work out for any of us. Tom made some calls, found out he is telling the truth. He can't say who it is, but he confirmed. He said Alite was going to be the first non-Italian made man. Bullshit. I'm sorry. Do you guys really believe that he was going to be the first made man? Okay, so what you're saying John Gotti Sr., who was one of the strictest guys, head of the families ever, a guy that would not even rat, a guy that wouldn't take an aspirin when he was in prison, was going to make John Alite. Because John Alite was with the family in 1991, but John Gotti was still running stuff. He was he was on trial at that time. So you're saying that John Gotti Sr. was going to make John Alite? Come on, Joey. Think about it. Lee, could you ask Russo and Marks what Patera and Tommy Reynolds really think about the helmet? Did you guys watch that show the other day when Jimmy Calandra had on the Chin's daughter? Here would be the question. What do you think the Chin would have thought about his daughter being on Jimmy Calandra's show? That's the question you should be asking. That's more of an interesting question. You got to give Jimmy Calandra credit for pulling that shit off. So it's obvious that his daughter wasn't really that close to him. Because if she was, you know, the Chin was known as being the furthest thing in the world from a rat. And yet his daughter winds up on Jimmy Calandra's show. Good job, Jimmy. That's a heck of a pull. That's a heck of a thing you pulled off. That's all I can say. He had 500 people watching that interview at one time. He had 500 people. You got to give him credit for that. You can't, you know, as a content maker, I'm not going to sit here and not give him credit for pulling that off. I mean, look what it did for him. 500 people watching at one time for like an hour and a half. You know how hard that is to do? James Weldon. Come on, Leoletto is a sick. James, did you just hear anything I just said? I just did a show where I questioned what he said, and you're saying, come on, Lee. So what are you listening to, James? Are you listening to the same thing I'm listening to? Wishing to do would have asked them what those guys thought of the helmet. Okay. Jesse writes to go to Undisputed Kingdom up. To thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, we changed. We just did some more guys on the blog there. So if you want to go check that out and read about the guys, and some of the guys we write about, you've probably never heard of before. But these are guys that made up the mob. You got to understand, the mob is made up. The guys that really count in the mob are the guys that run shit on the street. Those are the guys that you don't hear about. Very few people hear about a lot of these mob guys. You know, would anybody have heard of Lefty Ruggiero if the movie didn't come out? How many people knew who Lefty Ruggiero was before Donnie Brasco came out? Donnie Brasco introduced us to Lefty Ruggiero, but who would have known him otherwise? Just the mob guys, the guys in the street. The average Joe at home would never have known who Lefty Guns was without that movie. Alite's testimony had death penalty implication. That puts him at oh yeah, great point. It did. Finn Creek, Lee Cole is all FBS has. Okay. Finn Creek. So, what are you doing over here if that's what you believe? Hey, Westies, I don't know if you are aware of it, but I'm a grown-up and appreciate your input, but will watch whatever I desire online respectfully. Exactly, David. We watch what we want to watch. Let me try to catch up here, people. I'm going to drop the link here. If anybody wants to come in, they're more than welcome. Okay, the link is dropped. Anybody wants to come in, I know you, I'll let you in. If I don't know you, the odds are you're not getting in. Tony got pink eye from farting on his own pillow. That would usually cause it. He struts all tough at hitting a punching machine and then yells about being tortured from stubbing a toe. Why is Chicago so mad at you? Because he is friends with FBS. That's his job. FBS knows how to get these guys. He'll get these little guys that have no life to attack me. Don't you guys remember when he used to have all these other people attack me? He's been doing it forever now. Because a 62-year-old man intimidates. 61, I'm sorry. I don't want to put that year. When you get to my age, you don't want to put years on because you only got so much time left. So 1 year can mean a whole fucking lot. Yeah, Chicago Muscle, because you hear me here making fun of him, saying how meaningless he is. That makes him angry. So he's going to have to do a couple videos now attacking me. That's it. Finn Creek, the odds of you coming on this show is no chance. Can you imagine if Finn Creek was just talking all that crap and now he wants to come in here? Some people got balls. And Finn Creek, no, you don't get in this show. I can't figure out if Chicago Muscle is playing a long concern troll game or is he's serious. He's not smart enough to be a troll. What he's doing, trolls don't do. See, what trolls do is they'll attack you and they'll do it sneaky. What he's doing, he's putting a channel out there and just yelling and screaming and calling you all these names. Now, if you watch NB, when she does something, she'll put up a video making fun of people. That's what she'll do. You don't hear her swearing and cursing like this guy. Chicago Muscle's just you can't even describe him. He's a guy that hates people that have shows that people watch. Do you think Chicago Muscle could do a show right now and have 150 people watching? Nope, he couldn't. They, and they'll do whatever they can. It disturbs them that people watch my show. It disturbs them that we have loyal people here. It really disturbs them. Well, clearly everyone on here has followed FBS at some point in time to make their opinion. Yes, I followed FBS without a doubt, but he's blocked me from his chat room. I can't even, when he'll say something to me, I can't even answer him. He's blocked me totally out from his show, but I watch his show sometimes. Sometimes his show is interesting. I liked when he had Eiler on. And I liked the last actor he had on better. Than Eiler. Peace in this genre is just a chance to get in closer so they can exactly, Rodney. You know what, Rodney? I couldn't have said it better. You cannot trust nobody in here. Some of these people that you think you could trust are so ruthless, and the shit they do behind your back is unbelievable. You know, that's one thing that I do respect about Angel Gotti. If Angel Gotti has anything to say to you, she'll say it to your face, or she'll just say it out loud, and she pulls no punches. I'd rather have someone like her talking shit about me than some dirtbag like Chicago Muscle, because he's meaningless. He's nothing. He's probably, in his own life, he's probably meaningless. Chicago Muscle's only purpose is to cause drama. That's what he's, yeah, and that's what he's here for. Exactly. That's Chicago Muscle. The fact that we're talking about him, this is the most he's been talked about in his whole life. He's probably just a miserable human being in real life. It's like, okay, Chicago Muscle, come on here and show us who you look like. Show us those muscles you talk about. Show us that badass motorcycle you talk about. Come on, show us. See, Chicago Muscle, I can say 1,000 things about you without even cursing one time. You make it easy for people. Now, Chicago Muscle, how about if you just came on here and you did some videos and you were an equal opportunist? Then you would be respected. But when you only go after a certain group of people, that means that more than half the people are going to hate you right off the bat. If you're sticking up for FBS, 60-70% of this genre is going to despise you just because of who you're with. And if people are with me, same thing's going to happen to them. There's a certain amount of people that don't like me. And why? I'm such a sweet guy. I can't understand that. Why would you just hate a sweet old man? Jesse. Hey, Jesse. You've been texting me, and I don't want you to think I'm ignoring your texts. I don't have out-of-country texts. And you know what? I can get it for free, and I keep forgetting to do it. But I will change that. But I don't have out-of-country where I could text you. So I'm not ignoring your texts. I appreciate your texts, and I always read them. He's below a clown. Oh, my gosh. He's 55 years old, and he's on mommy's porch. Alite also claims to be Italian, that beats women and that are not. You know, I used to watch Alite. I used to like Alite, but he has said so many things that just is off base lately that you have to challenge them on here. If he wants to be challenged, he's more than welcome. I got 10 questions. I could challenge 10 things that he has said that aren't true. Just like that. A matter of fact, when I used to go on our Alite show, FBS would be saying shit about Alite. And because of my dislike for FBS, I didn't want to hear it. But the reality is, everything FBS said about Alite was actually true. You know, and he called him on it. So sometimes people deserve credit when credit's due. And, you know, like the Mason thing. He claims to be a Mason. I know all about the Masons. I got rejected from the Masons because I had a criminal record. They don't take you in if you have a criminal record, especially if you've been in prison for manslaughter. My crimes were theft. And the Masons rejected me because of it. And I tried, because my father was a 33rd degree Mason. He was very high, he was a very high Mason. And I wanted to get in, but by that time I was younger and I already made mistakes. They had me in some burglary when I was 18. I tried to get in when I was 22 and they rejected me. It's not that easy to claim you're going to be a Mason. First thing I would say, show me your Masonic ring. And show me a real Masonic ring. Masons wear rings in a certain ring. Then I would say to them, show me the handshake they use. There's only one handshake Masons Masons use. If you do not know that handshake, you're not a Mason. But there's a lot of things. The Masonic thing, the beating women, smacking women, you shouldn't be saying it. Now going after MB. MB's our friend. You know, she comes in here. She's part of this show. She actually works behind the scene helping me with my channel. And then to hear someone attack her and say that she's not who she say, you know, you got a guy who's totally fake attacking this woman. So, you know, I'm sorry. I got to call you on this one. You can say whatever you want about me, Alite, but the fact of the matter is I can say a lot of things about you that I hold in. Things that I know that ain't true. I hold them in. Just trying to avoid a conflict with you. But now you're attacking MB, who's a friend of this show. So if you attack her, that means you're not attacking just her. You're attacking anybody who's friends with her here. It's something you should have stayed away from. You shouldn't have gotten involved in this. And to say that she is MRE or she's a man, and then you have people in there telling you, no, you're wrong, and you're ignoring what they're saying, does not speak well of you. And we'll support her here. She'll always be supported on this show. Always. Lee, you're talking, now you're talking, Lee Cole. I thought I'd enter the Twilight Zone. Okay. Okay. I used to like Alite, but bragging, flaunting the jewelry, etc., are big red flags in this genre. So many hip hop Italian gangsters around here. Exactly. I used to like Alite too. But he kind of embarrassed himself with the sneakers. I don't know if you guys remember when FBS pulled out his sneakers. And he had legitimate sneaker collection. Same with Joe. Joe had a legitimate, and then Alite went in the closet and was taking pictures of regular sneakers. And then what FBS did is he went on and he priced the sneakers. And he was saying that these sneakers were $800. And I knew they were $150 sneakers. And so if you remember, FBS went on and he priced the sneaker. It was $150. But he's right there telling us they were $800 sneakers. And that's when a lot of things started in my mind. The Mason thing really, really got to me. Because, you know, Masons run in my family. And you're saying that you're part of something that there's no way you're part of. And then you're attacking the Latin Kings, which is not a smart move. Why would you be attacking the Latin Kings? And I'll be fair to you. You come on this show anytime to discuss these things with me. You did a show the other day, and in your sentence you put down that MB was really a man. That MB was probably MRE. And MRE came into your show and told you were wrong. I came into your show and told you were wrong. BK, was it you, BK? Well, other people came into the show, and there were 6 of us that told you that you were wrong, and you said you didn't want to believe us, that we didn't know what we were talking about. So now you're going to be called on some of these things. You opened up the door, not us. You have no side. Your side is you. And then to say you're in California when you're not, and you're talking about the Latin Kings, you said that you're in prison, but you're still talking snap about them, talking about like how weak they are now and stuff. They're not that weak, dude. You can go in New York and see plenty of Latin Kings to this day. Josie called you on it yesterday, and I'll call you on it today. Hey guys, if you see Muscle in here in any type of other form of name and you know it's him, just get him out of here. Please. He's not welcome in this show. In any name, any form, fuck him. He can get his ass out of here. Jenny, everyone on YouTube is bullying. Oh, shut up, Jenny. Really? Jenny, are you as blind? Are you that blind, Jenny? It gets kind of pathetic when you say something that everybody else sees opposite of what you're seeing. A matter of fact, being that you like him so much, why don't you go buy him that computer that he wants? Lee Cole is John Alite. Thank you, Wayne. I attempt to shout down pointless abuse and insults wherever I see it. At Lee Cole, thanks for reading my comments here. David, of course David disagrees with me sometimes, but David, you're respectful. You come in here, you're respectful. You put across your point, so you'll never be disrespected. We'll argue with you in here, but we won't disrespect you. Right, guys? You're not going to disrespect David, right? I figured out what content creators I like. I could count them in one hand. You know, the problem with becoming friends with certain content makers, and then you find that they're doing things behind your back, it gets kind of disheartening. You think that they're better people than what they are. I'd rather have them like Angel and FBS. They'll say what they want to say about me, and they'll come at me. At least they're being straightforward. Those aren't the ones that bother me. The ones that bother me are the ones that claim to be your friends, and they're not your friends. Those are the ones that bother me the most. And then you really put down your guard. You talk to them on the phone. They become friendly with you. And the next thing you know, you're like, what the fuck? Okay, let me see if I'm being yelled at, people, by MB. Okay, I'm gonna put that invite. Hey, nobody's taking my invite. They don't like me today. But you know what's funny, guys? We have another content creator that says that I'm not capable of being up here and speaking and doing my own show without guests. Do you guys agree with that? There's 150 people here, and it's been 150 people listening to me. I have no guests right now. I'm putting my link in there and being avoided. Sub to Lefty Guns Pool Hall. He's a good kid and runs a good show. You guys got that? That's Lefty's Pool Hall right there. Go sub to his pool hall, people. Please, if you haven't subbed, but after this show. Don't do it in the middle of the show. But go to Lefty's Guns Pool Hall. Join his show. Give him a chance. That's the least we could do, is give him a chance. If he all of a sudden starts siding against who with who, then you know what you got to do. But everybody deserves their own chance when they're starting their show. Hey guys, I'll tell you what's funny though. Did you ever see the one where Tony took the coffee and he's drinking it and he's making fun of what who? And he's going, "Oh, good coffee. Tastes like cock." That shit made me laugh so fucking hard. And that's the problem with Tony. Tony is a funny guy. If Tony just wanted to do a show and make his jokes and be funny, a lot more people would watch him. But when you take sides and you start attacking certain people, you're going to lose a certain percentage of people. I'll give you an example. Perfect example is the eyebrow guy. I don't want to use his name here because I don't want to put him in the algorithm. But the eyebrow, he'll be known as the eyebrow guy here. Eyebrow guy. But the eyebrow guy, he doesn't realize his biggest problem is why he's so disliked is because he takes sides. Do a show. Let me give the eyebrow some advice. Eyebrow, I know you're watching right now. I know that you're probably thinking, I'm going to do a show and talk shit about Lee tonight, and that's fine. But eyebrow guy, check it out. Do a show where you're not attacking people. Just do a show about you, about your life. And that's it. There's somebody named JT the God. I don't know who you are, so I can't let you in here because I've never heard of JT the God. Sorry. My talent is a kicking ass, okay? Hey, guys, is that the real muscle? I don't think it's the real muscle, but MB, I got an idea, this Chicago muscle character. Okay. Adam Kate is John Wolfe, without a doubt. Come on, we know it's John Wolfe, but John Wolfe is funny. Whether you like John Wolfe or don't like John Wolfe, he is one funny fuck. Crazy. He's fucking... John Wolfe is legitimately crazy, but he's crazy. He's a crazy genius. You know, people may not like... He's something like Sonny. Same way. People they'll crack on Sonny's... But Sonny's funny too. They're literally funny, and they don't try very hard to be funny. And it's good to laugh around here sometimes. You know, you need a good laugh. So if you want a good laugh, go to, well, you know, John Wolfe, he got kicked off, and now he's back as Adam Kedman. Go to his show and sub to it, because John puts up some funny shit. He'll put up funny shit about me. Like I said before, he did some funny videos on me already. Lee Cole said, you know, when it was funny as hell. I see your point, Lee, and agree 100%. I probably would go on the attack. And I don't like it, Rodney. You know, I really don't. I prefer that none of us attack each other and see what kind of talent we have without attacking. That's how you judge your talent. It's easy to attack people. Okay, everybody. MRE is here. MB, that's MRE, just so you know. Well, that's what Alite told us, so we know MB's a man. How do you do that with your voice? How do you change your MB? How do you change your voice like that? It's amazing. Shaolin Finest cool. We brainstorm something and we can put a theme song with it. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you an MB story. Here's how I met MB. When she was on vacation with her kids, and she tells me this story. It's funny as hell. I'm sorry, MB, I got to tell this story. So she conned me, and this is when she was against me a long time ago. She conned me into giving her a wrench. And then she got mad at me because she was on vacation, but she got so excited when I gave her a wrench. And she came and fucked in my chat room, and she screwed everything up. And she taught me a very valuable lesson there. Watch who you give your wrench to. And because of that, I'm very careful who gets a wrench now. Very, very careful. If you get a wrench here, I got to really trust you. And if you fuck me over, then I won't trust you no more. But the people that are wrenches in here, you can say what you want about Carlos, but Carlos is a good wrench. But the problem with Carlos is he takes sides. You know, and that's his problem. He's disrespected by so many people because he sides with certain people. FBS started making backhand remarks about Lefty yeah. But he does that to everybody. You can't be his friend. I used to, anything I've ever said to him in private, he's brought on his show. Anything. And if you're his friend, anything you give him, any emails you send him, they're all open for discussion in the future. And the chances are that he's going to use them against you. And that's it. Look what he did with the guy from Canada, Ali. The smartest thing with that would have been to say, okay, Ali, let's not talk to each other. Thank you for everything you've done. Nope, that's not the way it went. That became 2-3 shows. I give him 2-3 shows a week now. Go look at his numbers are way down. Go look at his shows for the last 2 weeks and see which shows have gave him the best numbers. I'll give you a hint. My name is in the sentence. Your point and agree one. Okay, I'm sorry. I already read that. Butchie bifocals. See that? Lefty Guns is getting popular here, people. We treat Lefty Guns better than his supposed allies treat him. Okay, let me try to catch up here. Riggs, Tom Lavecchia said he confirmed Alite shootout in his property, and oh, come on. Joey Riggs, he confirmed that there was a shootout on the property. I doubt it. Why? How did he confirm it? Did he show you a police report? Was there blood stains? I mean, how did he confirm it? Is he like your go-to source? Is he like the original newspaper? He's like the old New York Times used to be. Remember when the Times used to be the best paper? Of course, it's not anymore, but it did. I'd suggest that us good people steer away from, yeah, you know something, it's starting to look that way. And I don't usually say that to anybody to stay away from his show. It's up to you whether you want to go to his show, but I think he owes MB an apology for saying what he said. You know, he basically was lying. Anybody that knows her knows she's a woman. We spoke to her on the phone. We've heard her voice. She admits she's a woman. She's a mother. And she admits that. And then all of a sudden to say she's MRE. So you're not only insulting MB, but you're insulting MRE too. Who probably, if you look at all these shows, when MRE show's done, nobody, I'm sorry, Joe Bayath is calling me. Joe, what's up?
Put the link in the chat. I'll come on for a minute if he's still on.
Oh, he wants to come on. It's up to the people whether you come on. It's not up to you. I got to ask them right now. It's a vote.
Fuck them.
Oh, he said, fuck you guys. Okay, I got to give him the links. 1 second. See, you know what's one thing about Joe? He doesn't listen to people. People say, why you go on Lee Cole's show? Okay, I'm dropping the link, my man. Come on if you want. See, Joe calls me to come on the show, which is, you know, I joke around with Joe, but one thing about Joe is who he is. He doesn't give you any phony shit. Michael, hey, Lee, stay tuned. I'm creating a YouTube show dedicated to, I know, well, listen, whatever floats your boat, my man, I'm not going to get into that. Jimmy Crotty reminds me of the zombies and ghosts and goblins. Muscle. Angel, well, I'm glad. She's a good friend. I'm sure she's a good friend. She's a hell of an enemy, too. I think I'm going to go full retard and get my Twitch trolls on here and shut this entire genre up. You know something, though, Turd Bird? There's some good trolls on here. So, if anything, you'll probably get into a battle with the other trolls. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt, Finn Creek. You know, some of the things that guy says is so full of, you know, he's right there with John Alite, some of the stories that he tells. Well, I'm cordial with Armchair, without a doubt. FBS uses to excuse that his interviews flop. Let them flop on their own. You don't need to harass anyone. That's true. I agree with you 100%. If someone gets an interview, let them come on, and that's it. But here's the reality, though. Hootie Russo does better numbers than people that would from these shows. Why is that? Because we're mafia genre. That's why. Lee Cole is cool, but everyone else. Two of my kids think I'm cool, and one thinks I'm a big asshole. But I love all three of them. Okay, but I want to hear him say that Reynolds or Batira have to say about Calandra. They won't. That was a wonderful statement from you, Lee Cole. I'm getting more impressed with you by the day. Thanks. I appreciate that, David, and I mean it, because you are respectful. You're not you're a dick in a good way. Senior didn't want Castellano as part of the family. You think he would make Alite. Exactly. Yeah. So that's two. Something, Tom, if you're watching this, I would love for you to come on here and say and admit or say that you considered that you talked to somebody that said to you that John Alite was going to be made by John Gotti. Hey, Joe, I sent you that invite. What's taking you so long? Are you looking in the mirror or something? I'm putting it in there again. Jump on it if you want to come in. Alite, the type of guy to say he is too good to be made. Exactly, he would. AJ Soprano, oh yes, he was, because he was the liberal of the show. You remember he used to cry and whine about the wars, and then the worst part of the Sopranos is when AJ jumped in the pool with the thing around his neck and lived. It's like watching Dexter. My favorite Dexter show is when Dexter's wife was found dead in the tub because she was that annoying. She was like AJ. AJ was the most disliked character on The Sopranos. He seems like a nice guy now. Don't get me wrong. Seems like a very nice guy. But I'm talking about his character on The Soprano. I remember when I used to cringe watching The Sopranos. And then the other day, check this out, people. You hear that FBS said, what does Lee know about The Sopranos? I said, you dumb fuck. I was watching The Sopranos. What are you talking about? Who didn't watch The Sopranos? People have different opinions. And a lot of people did not like AJ. Okay. Oh, he's eating. He's eating. Put down the food, Joe. You're not coming on here eating. That's disrespectful. What are you doing?
What are you talking about? Eating. What am I eating?
Huh?
What am I eating right now? I'm always eating.
You got some chicken on the counter right in front of you.
Hey.
Oh, that looks good. Popeyes.
And I followed it up with Taco Bell.
All you skinny guys can eat all you want. That sucks.
Yeah, I got to put on some blubber for the fucking summertime. So,
How much do you weigh?
About 190, 195.
So you're a good weight, though. You're solid.
Yeah, right. Like if I punch someone, I'd probably hurt my hand, but nothing would happen.
Let me ask you a question. Joe, I was talking about Alite saying that John
Alite.
Alite I'm talking about. Johnny Alite.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I started this show off talking about, he said that John Sr. sent him with Bobby Borriello to kill somebody in the 80s.
And what he did?
He said that. But what I was trying to say is John Gotti would not send John Alite with Bobby Borriello.
Come on. I actually have his book, that schmuck, somewhere. And some of the shit
he's never mentioned this story. He's never mentioned this story before. It's all new. So he's out doing hits with Bobby Borriello now.
Well, no, but what was even better was that John Sr. sent him to take down the consig, Joe Gallo.
Oh,
Now Joe Gallo was like 65, 70 years old. He's a made guy for 50 years. A little fucking Albanian comes. I tell him, get the fuck out of here. What would he do? What would Alite do if the old man got in his face and punched him? Would Alite hit him back?
no, and you know, when you think about it, John Gotti had the best hit team around him, one of the best hit teams. Why would he go to Alite when you have those killers?
And then he was saying that Gotti didn't want Alite around Sammy because Gotti wanted Alite to kill Sammy. I said, but yeah, if he wanted you to kill him, he would have put you next to him. He wouldn't have kept you away. Because if the only way you could get Sammy is if you're with him, like he did to people, you know, like, hey, let me get you a cup of coffee, and then he comes back with a gun.
And how do you think that would have worked out if he went after Sammy? I don't think that would have worked out too good for him.
It probably wouldn't have, but not at that point.
Sammy had eyes behind his head. Sammy, you know, all these guys like Sammy, they expect to be hit. They get out every day. If all of a sudden, if a little guy starts showing up around him, Sammy would say, "Who the fuck are you? Get away from me."
Yeah, we're going to do a show in front of his house. He doesn't live too far. His old house on Lambert's Lane.
In front of
Do a show from right in the front yard.
Why don't you do one from in front of John Alite's house?
That's a fucking motel. Where does he fucking live? Where? He lives in fucking, he don't live around here.
Hey, Joe, did you watch a series on TV called Gomorrah?
No, but I've heard of it. It's on Netflix.
No, actually it's on Max, HBO Max.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to talk about Gomorrah real quick, people. There's three characters in Gomorrah. One is called Ciro. They call him the Immortal. And another one is called Gennaro. And his last name is Savastanos, I think. And then the last character would be Pietro, his father. And basically this shows about the three guys over 5 years. And the son has to be like the father. He has to live down. He has to live up to his father's. Sounds familiar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens with a lot of gangsters.
Yeah.
But this show is so good that you really got to watch it. And a lot of people say they don't like to read the label. They don't like to read the sentences.
The subtitles. I know. I don't like it either.
What I did is I dubbed the voices in English. You can go in there and do it. So the characters were speaking English. It was like watching a Clint Eastwood Italian Western from back in the 60s and 70s. But I would tell everybody, I give the series a 4.5 out of 5. You got to watch it. It's much better than any of these American series. And you got to remember, this thing with the Gomorrah is going on now. They're saying something, you know, it's still, they're crime-ridden, heavy drugs. What's going, and this is very big in socialist countries. Yeah. And this is a socialist country. Let's remember
it's about drugs.
Oh, that's all it's about.
I would love it then.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal. It's got 5 years in it, and if you have a favorite character in there, don't be attached to them. They kill everybody off. There's no surprises. People die. Like you'll like a character, and all of a sudden you'll see the character get killed. You're like, what the hell? I liked him or her, and they'll get killed.
Dean Martin, do me a favor, please. No, don't worry about my channel. You don't have to subscribe. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Why don't you want him to subscribe?
Who, Davis Dean?
Yeah.
Because he's a wise ass. That's why. And I don't have time for them.
Hey, you know how many wise asses I have here that
and
over time they became regular followers?
I could take a wise ass, okay? But when you do a show accusing me of stealing, okay, you want to know what that does to people when you do that?
Different. That's different.
Okay? And that's what that piece of shit did. Okay? So you want to call me bald guy, fat guy, gray beard, dick sucker, cocksucker, whatever it is, okay? Hey, but you do a show saying that I was in on that D. Allen Brock thing, fuck you where you breathe, you cocksucker. And I'm going to fuck you where you breathe when I see you.
What's your language? What's your language?
Sorry. No, it's all good.
Okay. But everything you just said they call you, I can actually fit into those titles. So at least they can switch them from person to person.
Listen,
Well, anyway, getting back to Gomorrah,
he
people.
called me and said, "Come on my show, start yelling and cursing." I don't know why.
No, I don't want you to curse. I didn't say that. Yeah, don't curse.
Okay, I'm sorry. No
Hey,
more.
listen, here's how I make my money with my show. I
Oh,
get paid
man.
commercials, and because I don't stand here begging for money, so commercials is the way that I actually make a few $100 a month. And if they see a show with a lot of cursing in it, they won't put commercials in it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I just really, the reason why I wanted to come on, because I know people are attacking you. I just want to let you know that, we talk and whatnot. I think it's effed up that people,
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? So,
the people that are attacking me are dirtbags. It doesn't really bother me. But let me ask you a question, Joe, because
sure.
you were on a show the other day, and I came on the show, and
Mhm.
and we were. It was Alite's show,
Mm-hmm.
and he was making these claims that we knew that was wrong, and he didn't want to hear us or believe us. And what do you think about that?
Well, okay, so I'm not saying that's the case with him, what I'm going to say, but I think, do people want to admit that they could be wrong, possibly? I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are stubborn and they just, obviously, I know MRE, like,
Oh, you know
he's a good
MB.
guy, man. He's a good guy. I know
You
who
spoke to MB too.
MB is. I spoke to her, look, she sounds like a woman. I mean, but, and I'm pretty sure she is, but I don't know. I don't know if people are doing it for shows.
Joe, no beating around the bush. It's like you're trying to avoid saying. I'm asking you a direct question. Do you think that he was wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
I told him that. I said, no, you're wrong. I talked to her. And I talked to him. I mean, I know I haven't talked to him, but I got to be honest with you. Every time I go in his chat, he's always bigging up my show, subscribe to Bay 8th. So he's a good guy as far as I'm concerned. And I felt like I should go on there and say, hey, bro, this
even though
what you think.
You believe he's a good guy, even though he called us liars.
No, MRE's a good guy.
Oh, MRE's great.
That's what I'm saying. I think MRE's a good guy. And it's really not like, all right, so I understand MRE 110%. He doesn't like rats and pedophiles. So you can't really have a problem with that.
Right.
Now,
Jesse says, remember, Jesse knows all about the Latin kings and the cartels. He says, how can the Latin kings be weak when they directly work for the cartels? D. Sinaloa. If you remember, the king stopped, and I do remember this, BLM from trashing the Sinaloa cash houses in Chicago during the protest. Exactly. And here's what problem I have. I have the problem when he was trashing, when I was on the show and Alite was trashing the Latin kings. I thought it was not a smart move because they're active. There's thousands of them. They're not in the hundreds. They're in the thousands. And you're there insulting them. I think it's not a wise move.
I don't think insulting anyone is a wise move, but he's cut from a different cloth. I mean, he feels that's the way he wants to take it. Those guys actually, Tally and Set and all those guys, I don't have a problem with them. I think they're actually pretty cool. I mean, one of them actually did a little video about, subscribe to Bay's channel, you know what I mean? So, and I thought they were friends, but obviously something happened. But I really don't want to get involved in people's beefs, but I will support my friends and let it be known, like, hey, I like Lee. We had a We had an argument once a few months ago over some bullshit, and I got to be honest with you, Lee's been a great friend since that point. And I told him the other day, I said, we'll never have a problem.
You got to understand where I was coming from. That had to do with that damn sneaker collection.
Right. And I could take that. You know what I mean? I could take this, you know, it's my 401k, you know, so I got to protect that.
Well, I was actually laughing because you and FBS were doing your sneaker collection on that show that day, and you guys had some like really phenomenal sneakers. And
you guys or me?
He had some too. You got to give him credit.
Some too. Okay, those sneakers that I brought out, with all due respect, that was the low shit. I didn't want to really dig into the closet.
The funny thing with that is Alite bought out his sneakers.
Yeah.
And they were in the closet, and they were $150 sneakers, and he was saying they were $800.
Yeah.
And FBS made him look stupid on that, because what FBS did is pulled them up online and showed how much they cost. He kind of set himself up. So
the thing about the FBS sneaker thing. So the night before we were doing the show, he called me, and he was like, "Look, man," he's like, "I know your sneaker collection will kill mine, but please do me a favor. Don't be too hard on me. You know what I mean? Don't really try to embarrass me." So I said, all right, I'll bring out the cheap shit. And that was good. We did that because at that point I liked them. But now,
you guys were best friends. You guys hung out together and everything.
Yeah, we hung out. We went out to eat.
You went up to Amish country. You were going to some Amish restaurants.
Yeah, that's what it was exactly. But they don't let people like me up there. I mean, it's fucking, forget it. York, Pennsylvania, I'd be scared shitless.
They don't let people like you in a lot of places.
Yeah, I got to stay away from the zoo. That's about it. So I go in there, I'm in trouble. They might not let me out.
Hey, when's the last time you've been to the Bronx Zoo?
I live across the street from the Staten Island Zoo. I never went. I might have went as a kid.
You never been to the Bronx Zoo?
I don't think so. I can't remember. I don't really go to the Bronx. When you're like in Staten Island and Brooklyn, I mean, I want to go to the Bronx. I want to go to like the Little Italy up there, but for some reason I stay around here.
Well, I worked on East Tremont for 3 years in the Bronx, and I used to go to the zoo all the time. But back then I used to smoke weed. I used to just get high and go to the zoo and hang out with my buddies.
Yeah.
I used to like to be stoned and around dangerous animals.
That's crazy.
And then I went into the zoo.
Yeah, well,
that's a rough area.
Mm-hmm.
That is a rough area.
It's pretty big, though. I think it's one of the bigger zoos.
Yeah. And they've redone it since then. The zoo's like they've redone the zoo. When you go inside that zoo, the Bronx Zoo, you don't even feel like you're in the Bronx. You would never know that you're in one of the toughest, worst neighborhoods in the Bronx or in New York in that zoo. That's like a safety zone. You know?
Yep. It's, I guess if I would go to the Bronx if I knew people there. But if you don't know people there, New York is not a place where you really want to wander into these neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like you got to really have a reason to be there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Or it could be an issue.
Yeah.
A guy like me going into the Bronx, they think I'm trying to cop some shit. I'll have trouble with the cops. What the fuck are you doing up here, white boy? Excuse me. I'm sorry. What the F am I doing up there, white boy? So.
I used to take that train all the time because I used to go to the Yankee games. That train didn't go to the Yankee games, but I had to take that train to start from Mount Vernon to work my way to Yankee Stadium. But me and my friends, all the time. Or when we went down to the city and bought weed, we always had to go take the subway.
Right.
That's where we were going.
Oh, one thing I want to add real quick. Davis Dean, okay?
Davis, did you say something wrong?
No. Maybe I said something wrong. So, Davis Dean, if you said something about me one time, we're all good. Who was the guy who made the comment about Italian people wearing jewelry on YouTube? Because what I'm thinking is, what Italian doesn't have jewelry? Do you understand that this is part of the Italian culture, wearing jewelry? I can't come on here and be fake. I don't even wear jewelry. I have a couple of chains. What am I doing?
Hey, listen,
Not what you think it is.
Joe. Back in you remember when disco was popular and shit?
Yeah.
1984, all that music was still pretty popular. I just got married to my wife. She was a Puerto Rican, a very beautiful woman, and I went to like you said, Bay, and I went to a Italian club, and I remember she went in there, and all the Italian guys were dancing with her and shit. And I was like one of these jealous fucks, and I went to the floor to pull them off. Next thing I know, there's like 30 Italian guys looking at me.
Yeah, man.
It's like at that moment, I'm like, what the fuck, you know? But you know, the typical Italian guy in those discos has the shirt open, two buttons on his shirt, the gold chains hanging down.
Right.
They got to have the shirt open.
Yeah. Or they do it now. They like have the Arthur Fonzarelli jacket with like no shirt under it. You know what I mean? And just like a couple of, they got that Italian horn on a chain. And that's how we do things over.
I noticed the sweatsuits. Guys have sweatsuits on, and they got it down where the chest is hanging out. It's like, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with this sweatsuit. I'm gonna cut it down here, right? So like my chest will show.
You know who was doing that? Anthony Raimondi.
Anthony Raimondi. Which Raimondi?
No, the real one. Anthony Raimondi.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see some of his pictures. He has his sweatsuit on with his no t-shirt, just his chest hanging out. It's you know, it's what you guys do. Us Irish, Scottish people, we don't do that.
You're Irish and Scottish?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Our skin's too white. You know, we don't do that.
Terrible. I'm sorry. I know it's tough. When you're not Italian, you know, it's not really a good thing. But Puerto Rican women, I like Puerto Rican women.
I was married
black, white, green, yellow. Doesn't make a difference, I don't think.
My first wife was Puerto Rican, my second was Mexican, and my third was Russian. So we went full cycle.
Which one of them is NB's mother?
That'll be the first one.
The first one, okay. Yeah, NB is really, really a nice lady. So I have nothing but.
Now everybody knows she's half Puerto Rican, guys.
Yes.
She's half Puerto Ricans. My son's half Puerto Rican with blue eyes. You know.
Yeah, I mean, she's just a good person. I mean, so is MRE. I mean, if I need something from NB, she's got me, you know what I mean? She's trying to help me with my channel and just be a good person. So
what do you think about this Chicago Muscle guy?
The problem is, who is Chicago Muscle?
Exactly. Who is Chicago Muscle?
So
I couldn't say it better than that. People, you just hear what he said. Who is Chicago Muscle? So when Chicago Muscle's bothering you, just say that. Who is Chicago Muscle?
I mean, what else can you say?
Well, he goes around insulting people on behalf of FBS. He does these videos and he's just attacking away.
Right, like he puts a picture up of my friend BK, and I'm like, well, why do you do that? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, so now it's like, all right. I mean, you show your face. Honestly, Mike, he wants to show his face. I was the one telling him, like, maybe you shouldn't do it right now. But if they're going to put pictures of you up, well, then show your face. And then the guy's threatening me that he's going to do a video about me coming soon. Well, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, that's it.
You're going to have to do a video about me because I have 400 subs.
And don't.
Can you imagine if I had 700? Oh, my God.
You're still at 400 subs? You're still at 400 subs?
Nah, I'm like 403, something like that.
That's because you don't use your voice enough. You
know what it is? I'm trying to get people to not sub.
Why? So, that defeats the whole purpose, Joe.
Well, hopefully I'll get run off of YouTube.
Hey, people, if you haven't subbed to Joe's show, go over there.
Please listen. At this point, thank you, but no thanks. We're not accepting any new applications right now.
Why would you say that, dude? your show's a good show. People like you,
Yeah,
Joe.
no, and what's great about it is right now I'm at a point where, like, if I do a show, I get 40, 60, 80 people. They're all good people. Everybody has a good time. There's not much shit going on in there. There's not much talking back and forth. Everyone seems to be cool for the most part. And what do I need more than that? Like,
The other day, I noticed you had 90 people in your room watching your show.
well, the thing is this: you want to be a YouTuber, and you're doing a great job, and I think you'll go far. Me, I don't know if it's the right thing to do for me, because I don't know if I have enough time.
I'm at the age where I can only go so far. You're at the age where you can go further.
Yeah, I'm not much younger than you.
Yeah, but you.
I mean, I look much younger, and I give off the image, but I'm really old.
Yeah, but you look about 40 years old.
I'm gonna be 47 this year. Oh my God! I remember when I was 8.
Hey, listen, my wildest times was in my 40s.
Yeah.
The shit I've done. That's when I got in the most trouble.
Really, at 40s?
In my 50s, I raised my kids.
It's the midlife crisis thing.
Yeah.
It's the midlife crisis thing.
When I was 40 years old, I was dating a 20-year-old. I remember that, but at that time I weighed 180 pounds, 200 pounds. Then I let myself go.
Yeah. So, well, the thing is, so wifey is probably about to kick out a kid here soon. What am I going to be doing? Changing diapers on the show?
Your wife's having a kid?
Possibly. I don't want to say anything right now, but I'm getting older. I'm 46. And the only reason why I'm doing it is because my wife is younger than me, and it just it's like now I'm getting scared that like she'll be left alone. At least if I give her a couple of kids, she could focus on that when I'm gone.
So this is going to be your first kid?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That I know of.
How long you been married?
It feels like about 37 years, but it's probably closer to 10. So, whose kid is it exactly? It could be
did you make the kid, or was it one of those things where you went to the doctors and got inseminated?
No, it was one of those. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was me.
It was.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, as long as it ain't like that Jim Carrey movie where they came out looking like the little black midget.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. if the kid comes out and he has hair, then I know he's not mine. So I got to be careful of that. But she's a good woman, my wife. She deserves it. And, now she's established herself at work.
But Joe, you don't sound too excited. Usually a guy having his first kid be jumping up and down.
Yeah, but how am I going to collect baseball cards and sneakers now? I'm going to have to sell them now.
Yeah, but you could leave that collection to your kids. You know what that value that it's going to be worth when your kid gets it?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And you know what they're going to do as soon as they get it?
Sell it.
That's what the next generation always does.
Yeah,
they mess up restaurants. How many times have you seen a father pass a restaurant onto their child and they destroy the restaurant?
The other thing is that I'm worried about is like, I don't know, like the image to me of a dad is almost like a geek. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't look at my dad and say, oh, he was a cool dude. I was looking at him like, bro, you're a fucking nerd. Like, he wears these weird shoes and shit like that. So, me, I don't know. It's just going to look weird if I have a kid. I don't know. It's just going to feel awkward because I'm so very stylish and everything, And
yeah, but what you call stylish, a lot of people may not call stylish, Joe.
What I call stylish is exactly what it is. You're a little older.
Yeah.
Oh, you sub Davis Dean? Well, you know what happens is when you sub to someone's channel, I get a notification. So thank you, Davis Dean. I really appreciate it. What you guys should do is, here's what you should do, right? The guys that hate me, right, which is probably like about 38 people in here, what you do is you subscribe to my channel, and then when I do my show, I'll say, oh, I have 500 subs now, and then you take them away, and then I'll go back to like 470, and then you go back up again, and you play a game. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's all in good fun. It really is. Oh, hi, Giove. How are you? Good. Hope everything's good with you and the family. And the truth, I didn't say you said I was stealing. Someone else said it. I thought you were defending that person. The truth, you're just a shit talker, but I'm cool with you. You know what I mean? I have no problem with you. And I really don't have a problem with anyone. Except, a couple of people.
Except
But,
who?
thank you, Beantown. I hope so. I look like Georgie from The Sopranos. Who's Georgie from The Sopranos? Georgie.
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture right here. This is my first wife. The
one
in
on the
blue.
left.
Yeah, the
Nice.
one in the blue. That's my first wife. That's my Puerto Rican first wife. That's my son's.
Lee, you were big pimping.
Huh? Well, that's
You
my
were
sister,
big
Maggie.
pimping back in the day.
That's
Thank
my
you,
sister.
Jesse.
Yeah, my sister next door. Yeah, but I've always had luck with pretty women. I don't know why. I've always had luck.
You must have been rich or had another attribute that I have.
No,
You're a smooth talker.
There's a trick with women, Joe. You tell them the best way to keep a woman around is to lie.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah,
I've
but
done
sooner or later the lies catch up to you, but just tell them everything they want to hear.
Yeah, and like something that I've been using now that I'm married is like I tell girls like, oh, they're like, oh, you got a wedding band on. I say, yeah, but things are really terrible now. I think my wife's cheating on me, and blah, blah, blah. I can give this whole sad story, and they just they feel bad or whatever, and then they want to take you out of your pain and help you, and it works real well. Yeah, it really works well. That's it doesn't hurt if you have a little bit of cash to flash too,
But you know something, my first wife, I'll tell you one thing about her. When we got divorced, at that time I had the United States Marshals looking for me. And they used to go to her house, and she knew where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
She never told them where I lived. Never gave me up one time. And most ex-wives aren't like that. They'll give up the ex-husband real fast.
Yeah, man.
But she never gave me up. I'll tell you, that's one thing I respect about her. Because the women I had after that, they couldn't give me up quick enough. But she never gave me up.
Yeah.
And to this day, we're very good friends. I mean, and that's just the way all these years later. And
I'm gonna listen. Marriage tips from Joey. I've been married once, and I will stay married. So maybe you should take tips from me.
I've been in relationships for the last 30 years. For the first time in 3 months, I'm not, and I'm happier than ever.
Yeah,
I can be honest with you.
Link dip, whatever you boot lip, Barry. I'm sorry. Why? Because I like Lee. He's a good guy. Look, he heard my computer broke, my laptop. Actually, it's my wife's laptop, and he offered me a computer. So now, to me, seems like he's a good guy, right?
Yeah, I tell anybody that needs a computer, I put out my email there. I got a couple computers that I'm not using. They're just sitting in my closet. And one of the things is when I broke up after my last relationship, there were some extra computers left over. That's what happens in relationships.
Yeah. So Bootlip Barry. So I got married in my 30s. What do you think I did from fucking 17 to 33? You just think I just wore clothes and when I was done threw them out? You don't think I know how to do laundry? I'm not an imbecile. I
I
just
would,
said,
would.
if I'm going to get married, that person's going to cook, clean, and do my laundry, or what's the point of getting married?
I
So-
couldn't get clothes from my 30s around my ankles. You still get your clothes on from when you were 30?
My clothes on? No.
Oh, I was going to say, there's no way I can wear anything from when I
No,
was.
I could actually, it's funny because I could wear clothes that I wore in high school. As a matter of fact, you see these right here, these jeans? I can't get them. Anyway, I have them from high school. They fit. I actually have recently lost weight. I was like in the high twos at one point, and I probably lost about 80 or 90 pounds.
You know, I remember in high school I weighed 160 and I used to think I was fat.
Yeah, well, in high school, 160 is fat.
No, I was 5'10". I used to lift
5'10".
weight.
I was like 185 in high school, but I was playing sports and stuff, so you had to be a little heavier. So
Okay, Mark says Bay 8th will hop on any show, Bootlip. He wants to show you how to clean Doritos off your t-shirt.
I like that one. These guys, man, don't quit your fucking day job because you're not as funny as you think you are. No. Who's a rat, anti-manipulator? Thank you, Bootlip Barry. Scruffy Booger Balls. Hit me up at joeymo@live.com. And yeah, we'll see. You know what I have to do now? I actually am getting a second cell phone because I get so many calls in a day that I got to get something else.
You know when I consider myself lucky?
Do I scrotum?
You know when I consider myself lucky, Joe? I've been on here for 2 hours and we've been at 150 to 160 and it's midday. And I consider myself lucky because a lot of people can't say that. I don't understand why people like my show. But the thing is, I appreciate it. And it just blows my mind sometimes.
Yeah. And that's what I'm the same way. When people compliment me, I'm like flattered. That's why I feel, if someone sends a comment, I respond to it. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to look at it as the people that are in the crowd right now, like they've been with you for 2 hours. I mean, they're taking time out of their day to spend time with you. I mean, Grant, I don't think you're that interesting. I don't know why they, but they do.
Hey, Grant, his bike vest is in the Troll Army trophy cabinet, along with the rest of MobTube scalps trenches we took. Troll Army has more hits than ABBA. Hey, I used to like ABBA. ABBA had some really hot women singing for them.
Dancing Queen.
Remember that? Dancing Queen. Oh, nobody wants to hear me sing. Okay, who was your favorite singer when you were, say, 15, 16 years old, Joe?
Singer or like rapper or musician or singer?
Someone that deserved to be liked. Somebody with talent.
I'm going to go with Color Me Bad. A white R&B group.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as singers, maybe like women singers, Mariah Carey, rappers, Beastie Boys, Tupac. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. I was a big Beastie Boys fan because, a white rap group and I'm white.
When I was younger, it seemed like when Tupac was being shot every other week.
Yeah, man.
Remember that? Oh my God, that guy, he was shot.
I was in Vegas when that happened. I was in Vegas when that happened. I lived there.
During the Mike Tyson fight, right?
Tyson Bruce Seldon.
Yep.
Yeah, the kid that killed him, I didn't know who he was.
The one that he jumped and beat up?
Lane was his name.
Yeah.
I didn't know Keefe D or any of those guys. My brother didn't grow up with them. They didn't used to come to the house that I used to live at and visit. I have no idea who they were, but obviously he made a mistake putting his hands on them.
And they beat him up, but it didn't mean anything.
They didn't
The guy
beat
had a
him up.
gun.
They didn't beat him up.
Well,
They
jumped
fucking
him pretty good.
they didn't beat him up. It was bullshit. The guy didn't have a fucking scratch on him. Trust me, he didn't have.
You know what sucks though? You go to a fight that night and you don't realize your life's going to end because of something stupid you're doing.
See, but the whole thing is what he was doing, Tupac, prior to that was he was claiming that he was a blood. And people, and MOB, money over bitches, no, that's a gang in LA, in Compton, the Mob Pyrus. So he had that tatted on him. He was talking about Rosecrans. In the Live and Die in LA video, he has a red LA Dodgers hat on. So,
but one thing you got to give him credit for, he was the first rapper that really crossed over into white movies. Remember, he started making movies, and he actually, and they were pretty good movies. And
no, we loved him, but
it's a shame because at that moment his career was taking off as a movie star. He was like he was making some good movies.
How do you think it must feel if you love Tupac and you love the kid who allegedly hurt him? Lane. You know what I mean? How would that feel? I feel like conflicted with both, because the kid that he put his hands on, he wasn't. That should have never happened. But when you run up to someone, I was around all those guys. It was never okay for me to ever say cuz or anything or talk like I'm a gangster or anything like that. That shit is like ingrained in them from kids. That's where they grew up. They played in a sandbox together. So if Tupac was claiming that blood shit, he rolled up on a dude who was the equivalent of a made Italian guy, someone you can't put your hands on. So Suge Knight got him killed, actually. Because Suge should have known. He should have known. He was, if they didn't get him in Vegas, they were going to get him. They were going to get him in LA. They would have got him there.
Hey, is Scrody really Chicago muscle?
Probably.
Because if he is, get rid of him.
And who's Mark Picciardelli?
I have no idea.
See, now that's bothersome to me that another Italian on YouTube will be hating on me. See, I don't like that shit, man. You need to show a little bit of pride.
Hey, so when you were you married when you were out in Vegas?
No.
So how often did you get a high-priced call girl?
Actually, a lot. I wouldn't say high.
You're honest about it. I got to give you that.
I wouldn't say high price. Maybe like 200.
You talk about one of them crack hoes from the street?
No. I'm talking. I was there in the 90s, and that with inflation, that's probably that 200 or 600 now. But yeah, back then, I mean, there's girls, working girls were everywhere.
Yeah, but a good hooker back then for $200, you couldn't get a hand job.
Oh yeah, man! I'm telling you, man. This one chick, Diamond, that I knew, forget it. It was $200. A mulatto chick. They were everywhere, girls. But it wasn't. If you're in Vegas and you're halfway decent looking, you don't have to pay for hookers. There's enough chicks to go around. Honestly,
you got some guys that prefer to pay for them.
Yeah, I mean,
you got some guys that have big money
and I understand why. I mean, that's the thing. I understand because when you, like as a man, if you're going to cheat on your significant other, you're running a risk, a big risk. A risk of the girl gets attached to you, and then like you're married. You just, want to have a little fling and then emotions get involved. If you pay a girl, there's no real emotions there on her part. So she'll come around when you want her to come around. And besides, if I'm going to bang a broad, I got to take her out to dinner. I got to, we got to go dancing a couple of times. I got to buy her a drink. I mean, the money that you're going to spend doing all that, you might as well just fast track it and hand it 200 and say, all right, let's do this. So,
but a lot of guys think like that. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
they don't want to be bothered with dating and all that shit.
Yeah, they had this place up in Pahrump called the Cherry Patch. And you could go up there and the girls would come out and you pick one or two or five, depending on how much money you have. Those are probably the safest ones to get
Well,
with.
back in the 70s and early 80s, before crack hit the street, the mafia, they had a lot of whorehouses like that. And you go upstairs, you pick them. They'd have bars in the whorehouses. And
Right.
the women were clean. You get to check them. I mean, but once crack came out, that all changed. That crack changed the whole thing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Then you had women all over the place that were crack hoes.
Oh, it really fucked things up. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
crack hoes, man.
and
Yeah.
then, another thing is that I think about is, could you imagine if you got AIDS? Because it's just crazy how like the thing people love most is the thing that could get you killed most of the time. I mean, that whole Freddie Mercury thing, that scared the shit out of me, man. I didn't
Well,
even know who
what
the
scared
guy
me is when you heard about guys like Arthur Ashe that never did nothing wrong to anybody in their life, and he got
I
a
know.
blood transfusion, or that kid Ryan White,
Oh, that was horrible.
and they died from blood transfusions, and they were a kid and a tennis player, one of the greatest tennis players ever. He was an African American tennis player that was probably the greatest black male tennis player ever, and he got a blood transfusion and died of AIDS.
Yeah, he was a humanitarian too. Yeah, could you humanitarian?
It was good. And matter of fact, now they call, at Shea Stadium. Remember, they named this stadium.
Yeah, Arthur Ashe Stadium. Yep, that's where they have the U.S. Open.
Yep. And that was named after him.
And you look at since we are all mob groupies, you know what happened to Greg Scarpa, right? The rat.
Yeah.
That was. I was born in that hospital, Victory Memorial Hospital. That shit's crazy to me. How and so the crazy thing is, the guy that gave him AIDS, Paul, my Aunt Donna's cousin, was his girlfriend. You know what happened to her? He gave her AIDS. She died. Yeah.
Well, you had people.
Paul was a real dude. He was
people out there that were purposely giving people AIDS when they knew they had AIDS. They were literally giving it to people on purpose. I remember people getting arrested because they would be going around knowing they had AIDS and they'd be screwing all these people on purpose.
Mark Wallace, he's a porn star, right?
John Holmes.
No, but this Mark Wallace knew he had AIDS, but he was like, they have to take a test every month. He was like somehow avoiding taking the test. And he actually infected women.
Yeah.
Like it came out after that he knew he had it for a couple of years.
They had a documentary on him, right?
Man.
They had a documentary on him.
Yeah, Mark Wallace. Yeah, I saw the thing. Yep.
It was, remember John Holmes. John Holmes had AIDS, and he did gay movies and straight movies, but he went over all the women once they found out he had AIDS, wanted to go with him, so he went over to the gay scene and was passing AIDS everywhere. And
that's fucking crazy, man. And that's the worst death, let me tell you.
And he was involved in that murder, remember?
Yeah, yeah. It was a drug-related thing or whatever, something like that, yeah.
John Holmes was involved with the Wonderland murders. A group of people in the house that robbed the drug dealer got slaughtered. And they made John Holmes stand there and watch them beat these people to death because he set up the robbery. But Val Kilmer plays him in a movie, and it's called The Wonderland Murders. If you haven't seen the movie,
I haven't seen it, but maybe I'll check it out.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. Val Kilmer's he came off just like John Holmes. He got the curly hair and all that shit like Holmes did.
He looked like a dirtbag, John Holmes, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen him.
He was a bad drug addict.
That's fucking crazy, man.
But the guy couldn't go anywhere without other men saying to him, "Show me your penis." Because a matter of fact, they based that movie with Mark Wahlberg, Boogie Nights.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that movie is based off John Holmes, but John Holmes is a bad dude. He was purposely giving all these people AIDS.
You said men were asking or women?
No, men were asking, like at parties. He would come into a party. They showed us in the Wonderland Murders. He comes into the parties and men would take out money and say, I'll give you 20 books if you show my friends your penis, because it was what, 14 inches, some shit like that. So he would have to show it to them for 20 bucks. He had no money. He was a drug addict.
Oh, okay. That's fucking crazy.
That's what they were handing them 20 bucks to throw the thing on the table.
How much money did you make putting yours on the table?
I got $1. I had to pay people. I
would do it, but there would have to be a fucking telescope in the room for people to see it. So I'd have to go to observatory and pull it out.
Yeah, but that whole scene back then, I grew up I was in Times Square during that whole scene back then with all those people. And
that must have been terrible.
Well, you remember Times Square was so dirty back then, and the drugs that were coming. When crack hit the street, though, it just did hell. It's like with the pain pills now hitting the street. Same thing.
Is it? Am I weird as like I'm a heterosexual man. I'll admit it. Like I'm not into guys, but for some reason, I have a soft spot for gay people, gay men.
Maybe
I don't know why, but I just feel like so bad for them. You know what I mean? Like
maybe you need to explore that side of you.
I just like if anybody's gay in the crowd and you got abused or like your family turned on you or whatever, and you want to hang out, hit me up, man. I would love to talk to you seriously, because I think that's the worst thing in the world. Because if I have a kid and the kid's gay, what the fuck am I going to do? I got to still love the kid. I mean, you can't. But to me, that really bothered me. I had a friend who was a coworker who was gay, and he used to tell me all about his life. And when you hear the stories of his family fucking blackballing him, like he couldn't get a job, people find out you're gay, they're whooping your ass. This is in New York. They used to fucking in the 70s and 80s, if you were gay, you got your ass whooped. You know what I mean? It was bad.
Well, do you believe that Freddie Mercury was a butt pirate?
Yeah. He admitted he was. I saw the movie.
Yeah.
But to me, that was no good.
I was Freddie Mercury's fluffer.
Look, you guys could call me gay all you want, but I'm just saying, I feel bad for certain people that go through that stuff. I don't know why. Maybe it's I'm getting older, but it's pretty sad that people treat people that way. Like the people that come in the chats that look to create chaos. Come on, man. Is that really what you want to do with your life?
Did you hear about this one? Johnny Mac has AIDS.
Johnny Mac has AIDS. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that from who said that?
I don't know. I lost his name already.
Yeah. Okay. Fin Freak. Wait. Wrong genre? Okay. Wait a second. You know how many people in this chat are fucking homos? You're naive. I'm telling you, because I know I'm.
Fat Ball Sicilian says Joe is a complete dork. That's
unbelievable.
Guys, that's not the real Sicilian.
Unbelievable. You don't think that there's gay people? Half of the fucking people are gay. You know how many fucking people they say what? 1 out of 100 or 5 out of 100? Are you fucking crazy? I'm thinking 30-40% of people are gay.
With women, they just try it for the hell of it. The college girls.
No, I think it's great with girls. I mean, I do. I understand completely why, but guys, I figure they're born with it.
Okay, let's see. Johnny Mac touches his toes for Old Dirty Pizza Tony comes in. You guys are fucking bad, man.
See, you're cursing now, Lee. You told me not to curse. I haven't cursed once.
No, you can curse once, twice. Oh. It's when you run the sentences that they get mad.
Yeah, but I should have a credit line with you because you got one of my shows taken down. So I have a nice credit with you.
Johnny Holmes left a fingerprint in the house with the murders. Yes, he did. That's how
Did
they
he?
caught him. Yeah, actually, it was a palm print, I believe. Yeah, and that's how they caught him. And then the guy that committed the murder actually got away with it. He went to jail for something else, but he got away with it for the murder. They couldn't prove that he did it.
Yeah, man. You know, but he got off, right? He didn't get
Yeah,
convicted.
John Holmes did. Yeah, and then he went to Florida and died of AIDS.
What was his, like, what did he, was he involved in the crime, or like was he just there? Like, what was his culpability in the murders? They say they try to make it seem like he was just a
They don't know.
bystander, or
No, some people say that they made him. Well, they knew that John Holmes was one of the guys that ripped off the guy that wanted revenge. So and then John Holmes gave up the guy, and they brought John Holmes back to the murder to make him an accessory to the murder. And there are some people that say they made him swing the baseball bat when they were killing people, and he denied it. Johnny Mac was the gerbil, Freddie Mercury's ass.
See, now, you know Rob Lito?
Yeah.
He's a liar.
What did
He's
he say?
a liar.
He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you or me.
No, he doesn't. He said that when I start my own show, he was going to give me an interview. And have you seen an interview on my show? No. So he's a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Wrong number. Thank you. Boy,
Wrong number. Oh, yeah, that was a good place. The wrong number.
where was that located?
I think on Avenue S or Avenue T, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. It was a little before my time.
Yeah, that movie where they tried to make Freddie Mercury look like some poor. Freddie Mercury was not a nice guy. Freddie Mercury was out there giving shit to people too. You know, a lot of these people like Rock Hudson, I mean, they were literally out there giving AIDS to people. And no one believed that Rock Hudson was gay. When he died, when they said he was gay, people were shocked.
Yeah, well, Rock Hudson, you mean?
Yeah, Rock Hudson.
Because didn't he get married?
Well, no. Well, in the end, he lived with the guy, and he hid it through Hollywood. He was always married to women, but they never lived with him. But everybody, a matter of fact, he walked up to John Wayne's table in Las Vegas, and when he walked away, John Wayne looked at his son and said, "What a shame! What a shame!" Because John Wayne knew that he was and he was hiding it. Back then, you had to hide it.
Yeah, man. You know who Gus Faraci is, right?
Of course.
So his family is from, if he was doing a channel, Gus, he would be called Bay 7th. So anyway, figure that one out.
It was Eddie Nash, his guys. Thank you, Mob Entertainment.
So you know what he went to jail for?
What was that?
So he's in Manhattan with his friends, and they're at a bar, and like a gay guy hit on him or something. They took the kid out to fucking Staten Island and they killed him. And he got convicted of manslaughter. He did about 9 years in jail. When he killed that Fed, he had only been out a couple of months. And he got right back into it. And yeah, I know where he killed the cop too.
Hey, the best thing they ever did was kill him, because that saved a lot of bullshit. And you know, but
I know he's dead, Rob. I'm saying if he wasn't dead.
But
you know who killed him, Rob, don't you? Those were your homeboys, right?
Yeah, but they fucked up by shooting the guy that was with him, because he was a made man's son. Remember?
Okay, so the way the story is told, I've heard two versions of it. One version was, well, but here's the thing. There was multiple people there. Why was only Louis Tuzio killed? Why didn't they kill the other guys, who I won't say because they're actually out and they're on Staten Island, two of them.
They probably
But-
set him up.
So I don't know if that was Spiro's way of, he made it seem like John went to him and said, hey, he shot the guy. Because the question is this: why was the made guy's son with him? This guy was an outcast. Nobody should have been helping him. You know what I mean? Nobody should have been helping Gus Faraci. They were all looking for him. So Joey Scalafani was with them. Well, why was he with them? He was helping hide him out. So I don't know which one I believe.
Do you think?
It's
Do you think
Spiro.
Tony? Do you think
Spiro,
Tony?
I think, had to do with it.
Think Tony Danza did a good job playing him?
I didn't see it.
Dude, man, don't
He's coming home soon, Rob, Danny. He might be home now. He did a bunch of time.
Do you remember Joey Farmer?
Of course I do. He's from my neighborhood.
Is he out now?
No. He's
still
coming
in
up
jail?
for parole soon.
Oh, I was gonna say.
That was another thing that was fucked up.
Oh yeah,
He made that into something
that-
it really wasn't.
yeah, that was
If the
that.
kid was green, he was going to get a beating. It didn't make a difference what color. They were going to kill him. I mean, but, and truthfully, the racial thing is secondary to the actual beef. It's like, like if I'm going to fight a black person.
And just so you know, the black person's name was Yusef Hawkins.
Yusef Hawkins, yep.
Yeah.
And he was killed August 23rd, 1989. And you know who was around at that time? I'll say it because he's a snitch. Joey D'Angelo.
And
You know
that
who
happened.
he is?
What was that? The Howard Beach area that happened
No, it happened in Bensonhurst.
in Bensonhurst. Okay.
Yep. So,
And the kid tried to get away by running across the highway.
no, that was in Howard Beach. That was
Oh,
the
that was the other
Michael.
one.
They were chasing him, and he ran onto the Belt Parkway. Michael Griffith was his name.
You know, it's funny.
That was
people-
1986.
You know what's funny? People get mad at me when I say there was a lot of racism in Italian neighborhoods back then. We just named two racist cases where black people died because they were being chased by Italians. So, and they get mad at me for saying that there was a lot of racism in Italian neighborhoods.
But, me personally, from older generation, yeah. But me and my friends, I don't know. We had black friends. I'm not going to say that they came in the neighborhood and hung with us, but we liked hip hop music. If you're, you know what I mean? Like, I went to school with black kids.
And there was a lot
I
of
played
shit out.
sports.
And then,
How could you play sports and not like blacks?
and a few years before that, we had the guy on the train. What's his name again?
Bernard Getz.
Bernard Getz. I mean,
Yep.
and Bernard Getz, when he shot the kid, he said to the kid, "Oh, you look like you're okay." He shot him again.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he shot him. The other thing is, he shot him in the back too. But
But to be
I
fair to
mean,
Bernard Getz, a month before that, a group of guys beat the daylights out
Yeah.
of him, where you had to go to the hospital, and he was scared of getting. He said, "Next time a group of guys come after me, I'm going to shoot him," and he did.
yeah.
He got away with it because he only got a year for the gun.
So what happened? I have some friends over in Mariners Harbor on Staten Island, and one of my friends, Danny. So there was some black kids coming into the neighborhood, and they were like, like destroying cars, like breaking the windows of cars. Like, my friend Danny had a nice car, and the kid was jumping on it.
And
So
Italian
him and his friends
and
approached
Italian
the
kids
guys.
would never do that, right?
What?
Italian kids would never do that.
I don't know. I'm not going to say they won't. They probably steal the car.
Yeah.
So they give these kids a beating. Do you know that they were charged with a hate crime? And you want to know how they got out of it? Black people came and testified on my friend's behalf, and he got off because it wasn't a racial thing. They would, it was just Italians fighting blacks because they were in an Italian neighborhood, black kids. And not an Italian neighborhood because Mariners Harbor is not Italian. But the area, Wright Avenue over there, the whole block was Italian because it was Italian, prior to that, the area. But he had black people come and testify, and he fucking got off.
And just so people know, if the 4 guys that Bernard gets shot, one of them got arrested 2 years later for raping a pregnant woman on a rooftop who was 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
So these guys were not, the media tried to make them out like some innocent guy. No, they weren't innocent. They had the screwdriver. They wanted to rob them. There's no doubt.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That
You
day,
know how bad it was back then? You couldn't go on the subway.
No, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Like, it's getting bad now.
Oh,
now they're pushing people on the tracks. They're stabbing people. You know, the what about the Central Park case? That was the opposite. Those kids were innocent. Let's
remember what those kids were out doing that night.
What?
Those kids were out wilding that night. Let's not make them too innocent.
Okay. How old were those kids?
They were out wilding. You know what that means? They were looking for.
No, I don't know what it means. But when I was that age, I would go. Who didn't go out wilding? Like, what is?
You went out and jumped on people and beat them up and robbed them?
I wouldn't rape someone.
No, I'm not saying that. But
Tell me, you don't think kids that are 16 or 17 are not walking around hurting people? It was the fucking 80s. I mean, it was the Wild West. People did it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say I did it, but there was always the threat.
Listen, none of my friends did it.
Yeah, well, you guys used to fucking dance.
I didn't run around my friends.
You guys wouldn't fight. You'd have a dance off.
Listen, let me tell you something. I worked in Times Square during New Year's Eve when the cops used to lift the barriers. Everybody would run through. You know who'd be there waiting for them? The gangs. And they would run. All these dumb white kids that would come from upstate would get punched in the back of the neck and robbed of their necklaces and everything. They would just wait for them there.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the problem. Nobody wants to ever talk about the truth of what's going on in New York. Okay?
No, the truth is, it's an ugly truth.
And you got Chinese people being attacked now. They don't want to talk about who's attacking the Chinese people. They want to make it sound like white supremacists are running around attacking Chinese people. Not true. You know, They don't want to talk about it. Everything's a myth and bullshit is what it is. People that do stuff like that, it doesn't matter what color you are, you're awful. Whether you jump on someone's back and mug them and you beat them so bad or rape remember that woman that was raped in the park? That whole case with that horrible rape?
The Central Park fire?
Yeah, the Central Park rape.
Yeah. Well, those kids were innocent.
And that was
they
horrible.
were wilding. I don't know. So you're wilding. That means you get charged with rape and go to jail for something you didn't do. So
no, I don't think that people should go to jail. What I'm saying is, let's not forget what wilding was. Wilding wasn't going out and scaring people. Wilding was jumping on people and beating them down and robbing them. That's what wilding was back in the 80s. It wasn't running around scaring people.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think that.
Where were you in the 80s? Were you in New York City in the 80s? How old were you?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was born in 1975.
Okay, so you think you weren't really there? Okay, you were.
No, I was there. You're not there. I was there. I remember everything. I was there.
I was 25. I was 30 years old. I witnessed this continuously. I worked in Times Square. I witnessed these attacks all the time. And that's what they did. They were brutal attacks.
I'm telling you that everywhere I went, wherever I lived, there was people getting their ass whooped by people. I mean, I lived on East 59th between J and K, right? And there's this famous park over there called L Park, right? If you're from Brooklyn, you heard of L Park. Every weekend, there would be someone coming in there getting his ass whooped. Like crazy shit. I mean, and it was mainly Italians that were doing it. My neighborhood, Dyker Park over there.
What the Italians were doing to wilding?
What?
I hope you're not comparing what the Italians were doing to wilding.
No, I'm not. But what is wilding? I don't know.
Wilding was when a pack of kids were 15, 16, 17-year-old would find victims that were weak. It was wild. It was like a group of strong kids looking for victims that were usually 60, 70 years old and punching them in the back of the neck, robbing them, and taking all their stuff off of them. That's what wilding was. It was brutal beatdowns.
Yeah, but
You can't compare it to what you're saying, Joe. I'm sorry.
I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying kids are kids. I mean, we did stupid shit. Some of the stuff I did when I was a kid, I look at it, I'm like, how could you do that? But what I'm saying is just because people are wilding, I'll agree with you. It's a horrible thing. But
You're
should they have
shouldn't have been charged with other
and
crimes.
they didn't do it?
I agree with you. I agree with you that they shouldn't have been charged with crimes they weren't going to do. But I'm also saying let's not forget what wilding was.
And if you watch what the cops did, they coaxed the fucking confession out of them. The kid was like 14 years old, mentally retarded, and they're like scaring, they do all that shit. So
Mob Entertainment, it says, Joe, bro, we weren't going around smacking all white people.
listen, Fin Freak, okay? I like you, but honestly, I'm not sure if I like you, okay? because really, you think you're funny with the comments, okay? Seriously, I'll still like you if you were nice.
Okay,
You
boss
don't have
man.
to be. Do I know what carjacking is? I mean, you're gonna make a you're just breaking balls, right, Fin Freak? Do me a favor, Fin Freak. Don't fucking just forget Bay 8th, forget Joe. Do your thing, keep it moving. You're a subscriber. Well, you know what? Unsubscribe.
Not to me. Not to me.
Unsubscribe to me, because if you're gonna talk shit, then I don't want you around when I'm around. So, I mean, yeah, I know Finn is a herb. I know that's exactly what he is. He'll diss you one day, and then the next day he's like, "What up, bro? Come on." Yeah, okay. Get
I
a
like to say one thing, boss man.
Get a life.
Wait, boss man, you're absolutely right. I couldn't have written it better. I agree with you 100%. And I don't think that they should have been charged for a crime they couldn't commit.
Yeah.
What I said is let's not forget that what they were in the park for.
You would not come on the show and show your face. I would love it, and I'd respect you more. And I would say, if you showed me your face on the screen, I promise you could say anything you want about me negative, and you'll never hear a peep. Never. Show your face, Fin Freak. The problem why you can't show your face is because you're probably 17 other people. And then the cat would be out of the bag. See, but me, the cat's out of the bag with me. You see me.
Okay, I want to answer 1 second. Carmine, Bay 8th Lee, would you ever live in a black neighborhood? I worked in black neighborhoods. Why should I live in a black neighborhood if I don't have to? If I had to, I was in mixed neighborhoods. In Astoria, Queens, I lived right near the water, very mixed neighborhood.
Oh, Captain, you saw him? Okay. Then you know what? You don't have to show your face. You're a real guy. I apologize. Keep talking about me, Fin Freak. No, would I live in a black neighborhood? I mean, I'm white, so probably not.
I wouldn't base a neighborhood on color. I would base it on whether it's a safe neighborhood. Let's put it that way. If it's I care about how safe it is. I want to live in a safe neighborhood. I lived in a black neighborhood in Missouri, and I lived there for 6 months, and every night there were gang shootings. It was really bad. And until you're there and you hear the gunshots every night, you really don't understand what it's like, but it was really bad.
Only one way to find out, Dante.
And the shame part of it was that this area was a really nice area, and it started turning because of the young kids. The young kids were going to school and becoming gang members, and they were bringing the shootings to these nice upper black neighborhoods. And
yeah,
it was the black people suffering, not the white people.
Yeah, they're prisoners in their own.
Crazy, Rob Leto. No white people in Astoria. That means you've never been in Astoria if you said there's no black people in Astoria.
He's from there, Rob. I know who Rob is. He's from there. He's from around that area.
Well, he's not really from that area if he's saying what he's saying right now.
A
How about the
story?
wait, let me finish. Rob, how about the projects down near the water? Right across, right where Devil Gate is, right under
PJs.
under the bridge there. Those are projects right there, my man.
See, now, Joey Electric, he's a smart guy. Black people don't even want to live. You're right. Look, guys.
And yes,
Astoria
is filled with Albanians and Greeks, but it also has a large percentage of blacks living there, has a large percentage of Hispanics. A matter of fact, I was coming from a hospital when my son was getting a checkup, and the car cut me off, and the guys they literally chased me. I'll never forget this. And I was with my wife in the car and my 1-year-old son. Never forget that.
Why did people, I wanted to ask this question because I have a lot of black friends and they love chicken. Like, if you're Italian, you like macaroni. Okay, that's like
that's just a myth, Joe. Who doesn't like chicken?
No, but I'm saying like black people, they love chicken. Like, why is
it's fried food? It's part of their culture. If you go to like these great soul food restaurants, it's part of their culture. I mean, have you ever been to a soul food restaurant in Harlem?
No.
Well, you have to go to a soul food restaurant. The food's phenomenal. It's going to kill you, but it's phenomenal food. It's fried food, and it's so damn good.
Like what? Colored greens and
chicken, pork chops.
I like colored greens. Do you like colored greens? They're good.
I don't like vegetables.
We grow them in our yard. My wife is a farmer.
It doesn't do anything for your corn.
Yeah, colored greens are good. I like
most rich black people move to white neighborhood. Hey, do you blame them?
Yep. Yeah, I love chicken too. I'm gonna eat some.
Yeah,
but I wanted to apologize for my rudeness and my crassness because I didn't eat. Once I eat, I'll feel better. You know what I mean? It's like eat a Snickers. I got this Popeyes right here, and I got Taco Bell.
Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is just like O.J. Simpson, and just like the vice president. All three of them have something in common. They lived in white neighborhoods their whole life. They've been married to white men their whole life, and they don't even. O.J. Simpson never knew what a black person was until he got convicted of murder.
He wasn't black. He's O.J.
Golf course with rich Jewish people all day. That was O.J. Simpson. But once he did the murder and went to trial, all of a sudden they put him up there as like he does a lot. He didn't even know what a black person was.
Yeah. Yes, Silvio Dante. Everybody, please accept my apology. But please don't subscribe. So, do you like hot food, Lee?
No.
I don't really. Me either. I'm not like I don't like hot stuff. You know what I mean? No, I didn't mean like hot tasting food. I mean like, do you like your food hot? Like, you know, I eat a lot of things cold.
I got a good question for you, Joe. Who makes the best? What company makes the best fried chicken? Because I noticed you were eating Popeyes when I came in. When you came to the show.
So the best chicken that I like is Boston Market, right? That's not fried chicken; it's roasted, but probably Popeyes. No, not Popeyes. You're gonna laugh. They got this place called Kennedy Fried Chicken in New York. KFC too. That's the best one. Kennedy Fried Chicken.
Finn Creek says KFC. Achilles says KFC. I'm gonna say KFC extra crunchy.
Yeah, my wife, we used to go to KFC, and they used to have these bowls where it's like mashed potatoes mixed with chicken and everything, you know, a little bowl. And we went there to eat. She opened up the bowl and a roach was in there. She can't eat it again. And I really don't go there either.
Remember when the person lied and put the finger in the chili at what was that? Wendy's. They put actually put a real finger in the chili.
Yeah, that was
disgusting. And where did they get the finger from? Did they get it off a corpse or something? I think it was.
They might have been like an undertaker or something.
Yeah, and he put the finger in the chili. And
no one's heard of Kennedy Fried Chicken?
Oh, Kennedy's great place. That's it. You got them in the Bronx.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're on Staten Island
They're
too.
a big New York staple.
Yeah, so that's probably, and the price is good. You could get like, it's like $1 a piece or some shit.
Oh, after this show, how many people are going to go get fried chicken?
I have it here, and I have Taco Bell. And I have, you know what? My mom made chicken cutlets yesterday, right? I love chicken cutlets cold.
Oh, yeah. Chicken cutlets you can eat anyway. They're awesome. You know what I miss? I miss veal cutlet parmesan. You can't find no veal out here. And you got lots of cattle here, but they don't want to.
Really? There's no veal?
Well, it's hard to find.
Ooh.
They don't believe in taking the calves. You get veal from calves, and they got to live in these little containers, and they slaughter them while they're babies, and that's where veal comes from.
I would have thought the best meats would be in Texas.
It is. The best steaks in the world are right here, but it's just hard to find veal because they don't eat veal out here. They just don't.
How is the gravy out there? Is it good? Like, like when you have pizza, is like the gravy?
I've never seen gravy on pizza.
You know what I mean? Sauce.
You mean sauce?
Yeah.
Okay. No, pizza sucks everywhere but New York and Illinois.
Well, Tommy Stiggs thinks freaking Belleville has the best pizza.
Tommy Stiggs got kicked out of Belleville. He's not allowed there no more.
That's why you want to talk the neighborhoods that he was driving through the other day. Those were black neighborhoods.
Well, John Wolfe did a video where Tommy Stiggs got kicked out of Bellevue. Did you see it?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you don't like John Wolfe, do you?
No, I was just going to tell you. No, I really like John Wolfe. He read my tarot card once.
Oh, because he did a video on you and you were screaming Adam caved him.
No, you and guess what? I thank Lee because honestly, Lee, I called you and what'd you tell me?
That is John Wolfe.
And I really didn't go too crazy after that.
Because John Wolfe did a video knocking me yesterday. I couldn't stop laughing.
He knocked you yesterday?
It was a joke. John Wolfe jokes on everybody. That's just the way it is.
Here's the thing. You could make videos about me. You could joke. But when you accuse someone of stealing, these people don't know. There's people that really think like I was involved with that prick. I gave him more money than everyone. And the biggest mistake I made was telling people, help this guy. That was like the worst thing. And that hurt me more than anything because people that gave money because I asked, they started attacking me like, yo, you're in on this? So, to me, talk about the way I look, talk about this, but you're going to make a statement like that. I'm trying to be a content creator. You know what I mean? You could destroy my channel by doing that. And do you really want to do that to someone? So that's why, but I don't even hate the guy. I don't have a problem with him. He lied and said that I said I was going to murder him. Okay. If I could say I was going to murder him.
I got to shut the show down. I've been on for 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Yeah, and I got to eat. So
thank you for being here tonight, Joe.
Oh, thank you, Lee, as always. And if you ever need me, I'm there for you.
Thank you.
All you guys that I yelled at today, look, let me eat first, and I probably change my ways.
Take care.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I just like to say thank you to everybody. I got to run to the bank, and the bank's going to be closing soon. I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. 2 hours, 48 minutes today. Wow. But anyway, thank you all so much. Everybody take care. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my show. I really appreciate it. And everybody take care. Have a nice one.